But it's home. They're playing at home for Shelby.
The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of Oldham High School's football starts now.
Welcome to South Oldham High School in Crestwood, Kentucky, where tonight a bit of a unicorn, if you will, in Kentucky high school football, except for those states around the borders, mostly in eastern Kentucky and western Kentucky. It's rare for a team in the Louisville area to cross the border and play an Indiana school. Because of COVID, those things are a little bit different these days, and both of these teams involved tonight had teams that could not play because of the COVID-19 protocols. Therefore, we find the South Oldham Dragons playing host to the Silver Creek Dragons. It's Dragons versus Dragons tonight. I'm Jim Tyree, your play-by-play. And with me is color commentator, Murray State racer, former South Oldham head coach, and Joe Gamsky. Joe, good to see you.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here. You know, I know the coaches don't like the whole COVID shuffling, but it makes it exciting for everybody in the stands watching right now. Dragons versus the Dragons. I know Silver Creek has had a really good program the last couple of years, and of course everybody probably listening knows who South Oldham is and what they're about. So I'm expecting a good football game tonight.
Absolutely. The rain was in the area. It has tapered off. We're getting a sprinkle or two, and we are a victim of the elements just like those in attendance here tonight as we are set up outside on the stands here at Mitchell-Irvin Stadium. Let's talk, Joe, real quickly about Silver Creek first. They won last week, and they got their rival in week one. It is very rare to see that, but they took care of them very handily thanks to a great athlete in Trey Shane.
Yeah, talking to Coach Reed before the game, they're going to pound the rock. They're kind of old school football. Power I, you're going to see 2 fullbacks in the backfield, and they're going to run the football. I think they threw like 3 or 4 or 5 passes last week maybe. So it's gonna be a ground game. It's really going to test the Dragon defense.
South Oldham last week were not successful in their bid to upset a Christian Academy of Louisville team, but that's nothing to hang your head about. There are a lot of teams that's going to lose to Cal this year.
Yeah, Cal's a great football team, man. And, South is working out some kinks with a new offense this year. So, I know this staff and I know these guys, and they've worked hard this week to work out their issues, get back to the fundamentals, and make sure they're ready to go tonight.
We're going to step aside for just a moment and get ready for this one. Pregame coverage has begun. It's South Oldham hosting Silver Creek from across the border. Back in just a moment. This is GlideCod.com.
We are welcoming in the Silver Creek.
Parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville.
Crestwood Coin Laundry, Oldham County's leading laundromat for over 25 years. Located at 6520 West Highway 146, Crestwood Coin Laundry offers state-of-the-art facilities in a clean, inviting atmosphere. You can wash and dry clothes yourself, or you can drop off your clothes in the morning and have them back clean, dry, and folded that afternoon. Their extra-large washers are perfect for comforters and large items, and all larger machines accept credit cards. They're open at 8 on weekdays and 7 on weekends for your convenience. Stop in or visit them online, CrestwoodCoinLaundryKY.com.
Want to replace your old, rotted, and drafty windows? What would your house look like with the newest and high-quality windows on the market? With just one call to Metro Windows, you can choose from a great selection of aluminum-clad, vinyl, and rot-free windows at an affordable price. And Metro Windows can also replace just the glass and failed windows, too. Their installers are Oldham County residents that take pride in their work and craftsmanship. Metro Windows has been locally owned for over 30 years and is the proud carrier of the Windsor window line. Give Metro Windows a call today at 222-7828. That's 222-7828 Metro Windows.
Summer is here. That puts a lot of strain on your air conditioner. Are you ready? Call Thompson Heating and Cooling today for an HVAC checkup. Because the last time you want to find out your air conditioner isn't working is when you really need it. At Thompson, we offer a 2-hour appointment window, so you won't be kept waiting all day. We're fully stocked and prepared, and 90% of our calls are repaired that day. And as always, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call us today for express service.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Thompson Heating and Cooling in LaGrange. For trusted, on-time service, call Thompson at 502-817-3105. Thompson, making people comfortable. ThompsonHeating.net.
Welcome back to Irvin Stadium here in Crestwood, as tonight it is South Oldham taking on Silver Creek. Jim Tyree, Joe Gamsky, we get set for the kickoff. Weather has started to kind of move out of the area, Joe. At least we can keep umbrella off the top of our heads. Let's talk a little bit. You said you spoke to Coach Reed, Jamie Reed, the head coach at South Oldham. Tell us what he told you about this team tonight.
He's had a couple of days to prepare for him. So his first answer, I asked him what he knows about this team, and his first answer was not much. Just what he's seen on film, and they got one game in and a scrimmage like everybody else. So but he knows they're going to line up and run the football. Like I said, power I. They're gonna be run heavy tonight. Of course, they got a pretty solid running back. I mean, you watch these kids from Silver Creek warm up, and they got some athletes on the field. They got some big boys up front. I think South has them in the size department.
I agree with you.
I think South has a lot of beef up front, and that was one thing we talked about too. With the Cal game, I asked him if the plan was to try to get back to running the football and lean on some of those big guys, and he kind of confirmed that that's what they were going to look to do early.
Let's talk a little bit about that offense that Silver Creek runs. You mentioned it, power eye, a couple of fullbacks. It's more important than anything to stay true defensively and make sure that you're in your assignment where you're supposed to be. A half a step one way or the other in the wrong direction, you're out of the play.
Yeah, everybody's got a key, man, and that's the thing about defense in high school football is you got to pay attention and do your job. When you get caught trying to do somebody else's job, that's when big plays happen in high school football. So I know they're in there right now in the locker room telling them just that, those linebackers to watch their guards or read their fullback. And those defensive linemen to hold their gap, because that's what you do when you got big boys is you put them in a hole, you tell them to clog space and let your linebackers run.
You mentioned talking to Coach Reed of South Oldham about getting back to the game plan of running the football. They tried to throw the ball 16 times in that opener against Cal, but from what little bit I saw in the highlights, it was basically the defense of Cal that was loading the box and saying, beat us with the arm if you can, and they couldn't.
Yeah, it was a defensive game early on. I mean, it was tight at halftime, and then coming out, Cal started finding their groove, and, something I have experience with, when you get behind, you got to put the ball in the air a little bit more than you want to.
We're going to take a break, come back, and get set for kickoff from South Oldham High School on Glycod.com.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Brian Morrison in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome to WDRB Home Design here at Watts Home Center. We're talking paint colors today. Tommy, what are the hottest colors this season?
The hottest colors are gray. Grays are trending. You also have taupes, off-white. Benjamin Moore has over 4,000 colors, so we can find something that you like.
So if I wanted to color match my shirt, you could do it?
I can do it. We take our little color spectrometer here. It will take a picture of your shirt, tells us what color it is. We have true color lighting, so it helps us get the true color to match your color.
Do you have any tips for us to ensure a successful paint job?
The best tip I can give you is use the proper tools. You want to use a good paintbrush, you want to use a good roller. People always grab a roller frame, they just want to roll a wall. Grab a pole, whether it be an expensive good one, an inexpensive wooden one. It makes the job go so much easier when you're rolling that wall out.
The team at Watts Home Center can answer all your painting questions, so come on out to their location here in LaGrange. I'm Lindsay Cox for WDRB Home Design.
Robert Lane is not a seasoned politician. He grew up in Oldham County and has been in the trenches alongside first responders for over 20 years. As sheriff, he will provide fresh, community-oriented policing perspectives while maintaining a duty to serve citizens fairly and impartially. Vote for a candidate with a servant's heart. Vote Robert Lane for Oldham County Sheriff, committed to community.
I'm Robert Lane, and I approve this message.
Paid for and approved by Robert Lane for Oldham County Sheriff.
You're tuned in to Oldham High School's football on Glycod.
It is a wet night here in Crestwood as we get set for this football game. The artificial turf here at South Oldham, though with the crushed rubber integrated into it, it'll absorb some of that moisture and should not be a factor tonight as these two teams go to war. Let's talk a little bit first about the starting lineups of Silver Creek. The Dragons against the Dragons tonight. And Silver Creek will start, as we mentioned, with that full backfield. The quarterback, though, is Peyton Lacey. Lacey is just a sophomore, 5'11", 150 pounds. He was 2 of 7 last week for 84 yards and a touchdown. He does not carry the football very often. Normally that will go to the full slate of running backs that Silver Creek will throw out on the field. Speaking of the running backs, the guy to watch tonight is the number 20, who sometimes will line out wide, sometimes be in the backfield, Trey Shane. He's already a state champion in Indiana. He led his team to the basketball championship in Class 3A in the Hoosier State last year. He is 6 foot, 175 pounds, and I'll be honest, Coach Dave Pappenhouse told me before this game that Trey Shane is the best athlete, Joe, that he's coached at Silver Creek.
That's some strong praise, man. Anytime you're getting those kind of accolades from your head coach, it means a big deal. And he sure looks the part. Watching him run around in warm-ups, he looks like he's going to be a tough kid to bring down tonight. He's going to run the ball hard. And going back to the quarterback, talking about everybody having a job to do, man. If you're asked to hand the ball off all night, that's what you do. And if you're going to win games doing it, you be happy handing that ball.
Wyatt Hoffman is another running back, a junior, 6 foot, 180 pounds. The wide receivers will be Joe Lemon, senior, 5'10", 165. And we'll also see LaShun Mays Jr. He is a junior, 6'1", 220, but more often they use Mays as a fullback in the backfield to block. The tight end will be Miles Roundtree. He is a senior, 6'1", 225. The offensive line, as Joe mentioned, a little bit undersized for an offensive line, but they do their jobs fairly well. The center will be Luke Campbell. He's a sophomore, 5'10", just 185. The guards on the left side, Sam Gehring, he is a sophomore, 5'11", 190. And Ben Blues, who is a freshman at 6'3", 205. Your tackles have a little bit more experience with Ross Scully, a senior, 6'5", 200 on the left side. And the right side is Walker Hoffman. He's just a freshman, but he's a big one, 6'5", 260 at right tackle. For South Oldham, they will go to the field this way on offense. Devlin McGee is the quarterback, 6'2", 180, and a senior. Last week against Cal, he completed 4 of 16, 25 yards, an interception, and no touchdowns. The running backs will be Jack McCubbin. McCubbin, 6 foot, 175, and a junior. The fullback will be Maddox Flingner. Flingner, 5'11", 215, and a senior. The tight end will be Jacob Johnston. Johnston, 6'1", 225, and a senior. The wide receivers, Christian Danielson, 6'2", 180-pound senior, and Luke Oliveros. Oliveros, 5'9", 165 pounds, and a junior. The offensive line looks this way. Ethan Phillips, 6'2", 2.5, 260, and a senior. The guards will be Ronnie Simpson on the right side, 6'1.5", 275, and a senior. The left guard, 6'2", 250-pound junior Toby Cercone. The tackles will be Grayson Brashear, 6'4", 300, and a junior. He's on the right side. And the left tackle is J.T. Self, 6'3", 260, and a senior. You could tell just by the descriptions the differences in those offensive lines, Joe. South Oldham has experience and size on their side.
Yeah, they are big up front. And, again, they ran the ball fairly well against Cal. I mean, the first half not so much, but, Jack McCubbin ended up with over 100 yards rushing against Cal. So I expect them to lean on those guys a little bit heavier tonight. And something that I look forward to see if they get the quarterback involved in the run game at all. I know McGee is an athlete. I actually coached his brother when I was here at South. Of course, they were running a triple option back in that day. But I know he's got some legs. He's got long strides. He's a fast kid. So we'll see if they get him involved in the run game at all tonight too.
Coach Pappenhouse, when I talked to him this week, of course, head coach at Silver Creek, he said that he thought the two most important things tonight, field position and controlling the ground game. So it will come down to those defensive lines, won't it?
Yeah, that's when you're watching film all week long. I mean, I always feel like it starts with the guys up front. It's kind of coach speak a little bit, but when you're talking about the offensive and defensive line, you're talking about holding your gap and doing your job and letting those guys run. And then South Oldham has a really experienced offensive line coach too, so I know maybe they got some experience up front, but Kerry Figg is going to have them ready to go. He's done a great job for them for years. So I expect to see a fast game because we're going to see a lot of action on the ground tonight, but it should be good.
That'll do it for the pregame. As we come back, it'll be kickoff time here from Irvin Stadium in Crestwood. Back in a moment on Glycon.com. Robert Lane is not a seasoned politician. He grew up in Oldham County and has been in the trenches alongside first responders for over 20 years. As sheriff, he will provide fresh, community-oriented policing perspectives while maintaining a duty to serve citizens fairly and impartially. Vote for a candidate with a servant's heart. Vote Robert Lane for Oldham County Sheriff, committed to community.
I'm Robert Lane, and I approve this message.
Paid for and approved by Robert Lane for Oldham County Sheriff.
Want to replace your old, rotted, and drafty windows? What would your house look like with the newest and high-quality windows on the market? With just one call to Metro Windows, you can choose from a great selection of aluminum-clad, vinyl, and rot-free windows at an affordable price. And Metro Windows can also replace just the glass and failed windows, too. Their installers are Oldham County residents that take pride in their work and craftsmanship. Metro Windows has been locally owned for over 30 years and is the proud carrier of the Windsor window line. Give Metro Windows a call today at 222-7828. That's 222-7828, Metro Windows.
Today we're talking home renovation with the owner of Watts Home Center, Brian Watts. You just built this beautiful new design center. How does it help your clients?
Well, we made it very interactive to help the customers make decisions from the beginning of the project to the end. On the home design side, we have cabinets, flooring, lighting, back here on the top.
Welcome back to Irvin Stadium, where we get set for the kickoff. South Oldham will be kicking away to Silver Creek. South Oldham in the gray pants with green jerseys, black numerals with white piping. Thank you so much, Uniform Police. Those are difficult to spot, aren't they? And of course, the black helmets with the S on the side. Silver Creek in the white with the orange and blue trim, and the orange helmets with blue stripe down the middle. And here we go as the kick is away. It'll be taken at about the 4-yard line, right up between the hashes. Now cutting to the left and taken down as he got to the 25-yard line. The return made by Wyatt Hoffman, who we mentioned a moment ago, will be playing in the backfield just a little bit for Silver Creek. The Dragons will start at their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10 for the first offensive set of the day.
We're going to get an early look at Silver Creek's offense and see what they're going to try to do against this Dragon defense. But like we said, fullback in the backfield, stacked 2 tight end look. There's not a single receiver on the field right now.
No, they will be in that tight set. 3 backs behind the quarterback under center. The snap pitch will go to the outside to Roundtree. Roundtree gets the first tackle, able to get away from one. Gets the first run and gets away from 1 tackle. Able to make it up to about the 28, a gain of 3.
Good hustle by the Dragons defense. You know, when we were talking, you want to see at least 9 guys around the ball. I think their whole team was around the ball on that snap. So great start for South Oldham, hustling down to the ball with the misdirection that we saw there from Silver Creek.
2 big backs in Mays and Roundtree. And now offset to the right side is Shane. And instead they're going to pitch again to the left side. And Roundtree may make the 30. Driven back at the 29. I think forward progress will give him the 30. And it'll be about 3rd and 6 coming up for Silver Creek.
So I talked a little bit about, reading your keys early on. You can see Silver Creek's got a wing back here to the near side, and he's trying to throw the defense off by stepping out wide, even though the play is going the opposite way. So Silver Creek trying to do a little misdirection early and test the Dragon defense discipline.
That drive started on the 26 instead of the 25, so this is actually about 3rd and a long 6. A little bit more of a pistol look here. And coming across the line of scrimmage is that running back, Shane. He got the pitch, and he's going to get the first down. He got hit 4 times, Coach, and he still picks up the sticks.
Right there, that's a frustrating play as a coach because you're in position, you're in the right spot, and you just can't make the tackle. You almost feel like you know what's coming right there. You don't think they're going to throw the ball, given they only put the ball in the air 7 times last game. And great job by Dragons defense being right there. They couldn't come up with the play.
Shane picks up 8 to the 38, and now it's 1st and 10 once again for the Dragons of Silver Creek. This time they put Shane on the left side of the power I formation. Underneath, they're going to pitch. This time it's Mays who gets the pitch. Left side, gets the edge. Big-time running room. Midfield, 40, and down at the 39-yard line. He was able to pick his way, but I noticed the patience, Coach, of him just letting things develop in front of him.
Yeah, he's letting those guys get out in front. We talked that they're not that big, but one thing when you're not that big, you're probably quick. So, they're on the edges right now, and they're making the South rally to the football, and good job testing the perimeter of the defense.
Biggest run of the game so far by LaShawn Mays Jr., 21 yards, and now it's in South Oldham territory at the 40. They'll go to Shane as he cuts back. Little misdirection there, and he gets dropped in the backfield. Doing the honors was Wyatt Fowler, the junior. Fowler had 10 tackles last week against Cal.
Yeah, right in the right spot. Their coach for Silver Creek was not happy over there on the sideline. Looked like somebody missed a block on that counter play, which honestly is one of my favorite plays in high school football, especially when you've been, they've ran the toss sweep early on. You come back and test their discipline on the counter play.
It's a loss of 1 by Shane on that carry. They're going to split somebody out wide left this time. And now in motion, it's Shane. They fake the handoff, now give it to the big back in Mays, and he'll rumble forward across the 40 down to the 35, possibly even the 34. Good yardage, about 7 on 2nd down to make it 3rd and manageable.
Yes, Silver Creek is just moving right down the field right now. They're showing some window dressing, what we call it. They put that guy out wide and moved him in motion, but really he's not there to do anything other than distract your eyes on defense, and they just ran it right up the middle.
They've converted 1 3rd down already. 3rd and 4 for Silver Creek here. Again, South Oldham's defense in a situation where they can get off the field. Pitch to the right side, and it's not going to go anywhere as Mays was chased down from the beginning. The first to get there and make him turn inside was Jacob Johnston.
Hey, great penetration by the defensive end. That's probably the 4th toss sweep even on this drive. So to get upfield and turn that back to your linebackers and all those big boys inside, that's a great play. And great job just being a football player here. I expect we see Silver Creek staying on the field. They're definitely going for this.
Absolutely. 4th and 5 after the loss of 1 by Mays. They put Shane on the wing off to the right side. 4th and 5. Quarterback will throw, looks to throw, throws down the field, and is caught by Shane at the 24, falling forward to the 22. What a catch by Shane on a lame duck.
Great catch. Once again, I thought South is in the right position right there. They had everybody covered, some good penetration by their defensive line, and you know what? It doesn't matter how it gets there. If it gets there and he catches the ball, move the chains, let's keep playing.
13 yards on the completion, and again, 1st down. So they have a 3rd down conversion and a 4th down conversion on this drive. It's the opening drive of the game. We've played a little more than 4 minutes.
I'd like to see the Dragons maybe bring a little bit of pressure here as backer walking up. Yeah, try to get some disruption.
Lacey gives it off to Shane. Shane puts on the afterburners, gets the edge, gets the touchdown. Trey Shane, his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. And this one's from 22.
They brought some pressure. They just brought it from the wrong spot. You brought the blitz up the middle. And hitting the edges early. They must like something there. Or, on such short notice, I'm sure they're just doing what they do. By attacking the edges, good perimeter blocking, great job by those agile linemen to get out there and seal their men, and awesome run and great finish.
Carly Troutman coming on, junior, 5'9", kicker, puts it up, and it will go through, and it is good. She was 1 of 3 last week. able to put this one through. 50% now on the season for Troutman. And a 22-yard touchdown on the opening drive puts Silver Creek on top 7-0.
Crestwood Coin Laundry, Oldham County's leading laundromat for over 25 years. Located at 6520 West Highway 146, Crestwood Coin Laundry offers state-of-the-art facilities in a clean, inviting atmosphere. You can wash and dry clothes yourself, or you can drop off your clothes in the morning and have them back clean, dry, and folded that afternoon. Their extra-large washers are perfect for comforters and large items, and all larger machines accept credit cards. They're open at 8 on weekdays and 7 on weekends for your convenience. Stop in or visit them online, CrestwoodCoinLaundryKY.com.
You're tuned in to Oldham High School's football on Glycod.
7.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. 4.5 minutes down the field. 74 yards on the drive. I started to say 75, but they actually started from their own 26. So a 74-yard drive capped off by Shane's run for his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. And now it'll be South Oldham, and we'll see Jimmy Reed's squad if they have an answer in their back pocket. Short kickoff taken at the 14. Coming up to the 25, making a cut to the left, and then coming down at the 30. Luke Oliveros, the junior receiver, able to get a nice little return of 16 yards. And South Oldham with decent field position to start at their own 30.
Yeah, great opening drive by Silver Creek, just coming out and running their stuff. You know, again, on such short notice, that's kind of what you got to do. And, you know, that's what I expect to see Coach Reed do here is even though you were preparing for somebody else, what was your bread and butter that you were practicing all week long, and see if you can come out and still execute that against this team.
They'll start in a shotgun formation with the quarterback, McGee. 2 backs on either side. Handoff will go to the right back, but to the left side. And the handoff went to McCubbin, and he is only able to pick up about maybe a yard to the 32. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Stout Silver Creek defense in there. You know, number 10 playing fullback and playing middle linebacker. He's going to be a tough body to move in there. You know, we'll see if South can gain some traction opening series. Got your number called a little bit. They got to come back and get something going.
They're going to do the same. No, they did not fake the handoff. They got me faked out, though. And the running back is going to pick up a few yards. It's actually Maddox Fleener, the fullback, who's going to run this time. And Fleener able to get up to the 40-yard line. An 8-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and very short.
There's something to go off of there now that, you know, South Oldham been an option team for so long in the past, so you never really know who has the ball there. They showed the option motion out of the backfield, but really just ran simple inside zone there. And good run, good way to break a tackle from the running back, and got him show a little juice, man. That's what I'd like to see right now is a little bit of excitement on the South Oldham sideline.
McGee hid the ball very well. This will run up the middle. It'll be a 1st down. McCubbin able to launch forward. That was basically just ISO up the middle, wasn't it, Coach?
Yeah, there you go. Leaning on those big boys. You know, our guys are better than yours right there. We're going to run right at your face and see if you can stop us. So, you know, that's where we talk about that size difference. If you just put the ball straight down the center's butt and expect to get something, and that's what they did right there.
So the 6-yard gain by McCubbin moves the sticks. It's a 1st down and a 3rd down conversion for South Oldham right out of the gate. 1st and 10 from their own 46. Handoff goes to McCubbin again, and McCubbin has to stretch forward to pick up a couple of yards. Good job by one of the linebackers shooting in there that time. It was Mike Lowry, a senior at 5'10", 190. Took out the pins of McCubbin before he could get going.
Yeah, good hustle to the football. Kind of the same play 2 times in a row just to see what they could test out of that Silver Creek defense. Come back, let's see what they're going to line up in. 2-back set again. 2nd and long. This is where usually Coach Reed likes to take a shot.
2-yard gain, 2nd and 8. McGee is going to throw one out, and it's incomplete. Wanted to get McCubbin led to the outside, and the screen pass just does not work.
Yeah, that's what we almost call just an extension of your run game there, right? So you run the receivers off, let that back flare out a little bit. Usually you got one-on-one with an outside linebacker, and just try to get an easy, simple completion from your quarterback, get him a little confidence going, but didn't work out for him right there.
That makes it 3rd and long. 3rd and 8. Already one third down conversion under their belt. Let's see if they can get this one. McCubbin is going to run to the outside, right side, cut the edge, got the first down, driven out of bounds. Lowry for Silver Creek was able to finally drive him out, but McCubbin got good blocking on the outside.
Absolutely. That was always something that was big for me when I talked to my wide receivers, is if you want to get the ball in the pass game, you better do your job in the run game. Great job blocking on the outside. That's the reason that Dragons picked up the first down there. They got great effort by their receiver out wide.
An 11-yard gain when they needed 8, and another first down for the green-clad Dragons of South Oldham as they get into enemy territory now at the 41 of Silver Creek. 1st and 10. Lights on here at Irvin Stadium. Glad you're with us here tonight on Glycod.com.
Late substitution here, maybe a little confusion on the offense.
Trips to the left side, but instead the handoff will go up the middle. Short gain as they went to a different running back this time.
It looked like the quarterback McGee looked like he saw something there. I wonder if he's reading that, if that's a zone read. It looked like he was maybe a little upset at himself, maybe thought he should have kept that ball instead of handing it off. Like I said, I'd like to see him use his legs a little bit, and test that defense.
They brought in Acevedo, Jacob Acevedo, a sophomore, for that run, thinking that Silver Creek would take the bait. They did not. 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8. McGee is going to roll out. He has to duck inside the rush. Now he's going to try to get to the outside, just run out of bounds. After he made a nice little sidestep to gain maybe a yard or two, but inside the 40-yard line down to the 39. Give him one. It'll be 3rd and long. 7, possibly 8 yards.
Yeah, good penetration by Silver Creek defensive line, setting that edge, not letting him get to his rollout. The idea of bootleg or sprint out like that is to get on the edge, let your quarterback have some time, let the routes develop, feel a little bit more comfortable throwing on the run than in the pocket right now. So great job by that defensive end by not letting him do that.
They have converted 2 third downs on this drive. They face another. One of them was 3rd and 8. This one is as well from the 39 of Silver Creek. McGee will roll out now to the right side, throw down the field. It's caught at the 27-yard line, stepping out of bounds. The receiver making the catch on the sideline. We'll wait for the black numbers to make themselves visible. I believe it was Acevedo that came in to make that catch.
Yeah, good throw, good catch, kind of same concept, get out, no real penetration from the edge. You had a go route on the outside and a deep out route from the inside guy, so the go route took the cornerback with him that allowed that out route to come clean.
It was actually Jarrett Straker that made the catch. Here's a duck inside, not going to go anywhere. He may have been lucky to reach the line of scrimmage, and the handoff that time going to Oliveros, the junior, not able to get anywhere. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that almost looked like outside zone that he thought he may had a lane in. I'm going to tell my guys to just keep, if that is outside zone, just keep trusting it. Keep pushing that edge. Make those guys commit, because the longer you string it out, the more cutback opportunities you have.
2nd and 10 from the Silver Creek 26-yard line. 3:10 to play, first quarter. Silver Creek scored on their first drive, a 22-yard touchdown run by Trey Shade. And now the Dragons of South Oldham trying to answer the pass way over the head of the intended receiver. That may have been Straker, again.
That might have been some of that weather we had in here showing up right there. Just let that ball sail high a little bit. Had the guy open on the hitch route. Just couldn't stick him with it. But I like what Silver Creek is doing on defense right now. They're holding tough. I know they've given up some first downs, but they're really making South Oldham work for it. Their conversions have been 3rd and longs.
It's not Straker, it's Connor Hayden. We'll get the number right now. McGee rolling to his left side. Has to stop. Plants, throws, incomplete. A little bit high, intended for the big, tall, wide receiver Gavin Trimble, 6'4", 180 senior. And Trimble couldn't pull that one down, so he's 6'4". It was high if he couldn't pull it down.
Yeah, again, it's the second high ball in a row, but, we're kind of in no man's land here in high school football. You don't really have a kicker most often that you're comfortable making this kick. So 4th and long, you leave your offense on the field and you go for it.
2:55, clock stopped with the incompletion. 4th and 10. They've converted on 3rd down 3 times in this drive. Can they convert here at the 26 of Silver Creek?
Let's see if Silver Creek sends a little bit of pressure here on this 4th. Yep, here we come, middle linebacker. We're sending everybody.
And McGee has to escape. rolls way back there trying to get away from a would-be tackler. He's going to go down at the 40-yard line. The man that caught him is that linebacker we mentioned a moment ago, the senior Mike Lowry. Got him by the ankles.
Yeah, he looks like a beast, man, and he came through clean. Nobody touched him, and that's the last person you don't want to block on the defense is the Mike linebacker with a full head of steam running right at your quarterback's face. So, I didn't really see what was developing because he caught my eye, coming through the line. But good job by Silver Creek defense of forcing the turnover on downs. Now we got to get back to that South Oldham defense and see if they can hold up against this Silver Creek offense.
McGee was running for his life there, able to get back to the 39, and that is all. Short field here for Silver Creek, caused on the turnover on downs. 1st and 10 now from their own 39. Snap, pitch goes to the outside. They go to K.D. Powell, another senior back. And Powell is going to get across the 40 to about the 42, a gain of 3. They had 6 different running backs carry the ball in the win over Charleston last week, Coach.
Yeah, talk about a running back by committee, but, in high school you shouldn't really care who gets the credit. It's all about getting that win, after the clock's hit triple zeros. So I really like, on both sides right there, if you're Silver Creek, you're saying great first down play, you got 3 yards. If you're South Oldham defense, you're pretty happy with giving up 3 there. So second down's going to be a big play. I would see some misdirection here. Watch that wing back, see what he does.
In motion, man, that's Shane coming underneath. They do not give it to him. Instead, they'll give it to Wyatt Hoffman, who was the second option through, and Hoffman is going to get very close to a first down to about the 48-yard line. He's going to be about a yard shy. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1, but 3rd and 1, the playbook's wide open.
It is. There's that counter play again, brought the wide out in motion, showed them jet sweep, which they hit on their opening drive, so South Oldham's going to react a little bit to that, but then you run the counter right back underneath, and short yard to go. Let's see if they just power football right at them.
I think we're going to see a big back here. That's Mays dotting the power I. Actually, he'll get the call, and they were very, very close before he started driving back, and the football came out. South Oldham says they have it. No official has made a motion yet. Let's see. They're going to talk about it. South Oldham came out of the huddle with the football, or the scrum, I should say.
We haven't seen official signal yet, though. We got a down marker down. Looks like, saying it's Silver Creek football.
First down, too. They're going to say they picked up just enough for the first down. So the sticks will move.
That's an interesting play right there, too. You saw the toss out of the backfield, but you got a couple pullers up front, so really that was a power play.
Right.
So you toss that to hopefully to get those linebackers to flow out wide, but really you're trying to run that play in the B gap. So, we see that a lot on Saturdays, actually, so good play for a high school team right there.
Timeout has been called with 1:15 to go in the first, 7-0 Silver Creek, and they have the football near midfield. Back in a moment.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville. You're tuned in to Oldham High School's football on Glycod.
1:15 to go here in the first quarter. South Oldham called timeout. They wanted to get their defense over and regroup just a little bit. Silver Creek, interestingly, they went to the sideline, spent about 20 seconds, came right back out. They must be doing what Coach Dave Pappenhouse wants them to do right now. They have 1st and 10 from their own 49.
Yeah, they're running their playbook. South hasn't made them do anything that they don't want to do yet.
First man through is the fullback, and the carry is going to be short yardage. South did not get fooled, and the man on the carry that time was Self.
Yeah, I think those linebackers on that one did a good job watching their guards. So that way, they were downhill really quick. Sometimes when you watch that backfield, then you get confused. But if you key those guards and you watch the offensive line, they're going to tell you where the ball's going.
It was Wyatt Hoffman on the carry. He picks up 3. It's 2nd and 7. Power eye and a flag. Somebody moved.
Offsides. They're calling that on South.
Wow. And when you see a team that is as used to running the offense that they run, such as Silver Creek, it's very rare to see a team like that. They're very disciplined because they know they can't move until the offense just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's kind of a mental battle right now for South Oldham. You know, you're being pushed back. You're being pushed back. You got to stay in it mentally. You know, I always used to tell our guys that thoughts become things. So when you're on the field right now, you know, you got to have some positive thoughts. You really need a positive voice stepping up and leading the team.
2nd and 2. This may be the last play of the first quarter. It is Mays who runs forward, gets out of the scrum, and is going to be caught from behind by Sam Reagan. But not before Mays able to get down to the 17-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 18. Big run by Mays.
Yeah, you know, those linebackers right there, they got to make that play. I think they thought they had him wrapped up, and then whoop, scoots out and keeps running down the field. And good hustle play by the safety, being able to live another day.
There is a boatload of talented running backs on this Silver Creek roster, and there again is Mays. He'll get inside the 15, down to about the 12. Gain of about 5 on a first down carry.
This is where you got to have some intensity, man. If you're a defensive guy, this is where you're yelling at your team. This is where you're begging and pleading and you're trying to motivate to stand up because, you know, we saw that extra point. I don't think Silver Creek has much of a kicker, so if you can hold them here, this is 4-down territory. They're going for this.
This is the end of the quarter. 7-0 as we move to the second here at Irvin Stadium on GlideCon.com.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Looking for sound, prudent financial advice? Did you know that one of the brightest and best financial advisors is in your own backyard? Robin Lawson of Financial Solutions Incorporated has a mission to understand your long-term goals and to create a specific strategy just for you. Robin understands the challenges that face most of us today and offers fresh, out-of-the-box thinking that can put you on the road to financial freedom. Contact Robin Lawson today at 502-225-9900. That's 502-225-9900 or visit lawsonfinancial.net.
You're tuned in to Oldham High School's football on GlideCon.
Second quarter getting ready to begin here in this border battle between Silver Creek from Indiana, just across the river from the Louisville area, and of course the South Oldham Dragons right here in Crestwood. As it's a 7-0 game. Silver Creek with the lead, and they are threatening again in the red zone at the South Oldham 12-yard line.
You know, last time Silver Creek got down here, they really tested the edge. That's how they got their last touchdown, was on the outside. So let's see if they try it again.
They're going to go with Mays again. He'll duck inside the 10 before he is taken down.
A little short on the play. Looks like we're going to have 3rd and short, but you gotta feel like, you know, Silver Creek is comfortable in these situations. They got those big backs, much like one of my players to watch in the NFL, A.J. Dillon, who they call Quadzilla. They got some guys that look like that you just put the ball in and they can get a yard pretty easily.
The senior defensive lineman Jacob Johnston on the tackle. So 3rd and again short for Silver Creek. 3rd and 1.
South Oldham's got to get some pressure with their defensive line.
Fullback, first guy up the middle. Looked like that was possibly Landon Arnold. Let's see who comes off the turf. The first man to carry the ball. Actually, no, it was... Who was that? It was Shane, I guess, that was on the carry. Nope, check that. It was Arnold. Arnold, the junior running back. Last week, Arnold was not one of those 6 backs that carried the ball. But he got enough for the first down. He got inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line, and it's 1st and goal now for Silver Creek.
You know, I'm really trying to get behind my defensive line right now. If I'm the South Oldham coach, you know, you got 2 big boys inside. They got to get off the ball, and they got to get off some blocks to get some penetration here.
Going to go pitch. Mays left side to the 5, to the 3, down to the 1. The man that stood in his way was Sam Reagan, the defensive back. The junior came up, took out his legs. but not before Mays able to get 6. And now they're going to call it a 5-yard gain that he stepped out at the 2. So that'll be 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line.
South did just enough there, but I'm going to reiterate my point I just made of getting off blocks. Even there on the edge by those linebackers, they're doing a pretty good job of fitting where they're supposed to fit, but they're locking up too long. I want to see them shed that block and make a play.
They haven't gone, and that looked like somebody on the South Oldham side stepped across the line. It'll be half the distance to the goal line.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt you much. I mean, you're trying to get a jump. You're trying to get a little explosive, get off the ball there a little bit. So that's not going to hurt you all that bad. Half the distance here. With those big boys, it's fire off the ball, man. Load those springs and get a good get off right here.
In the backfield, Hoffman, Mays. Shane is the wing to the right side. They'll go to Mays, who bangs his body into the end zone. Touchdown, a 1-yard plunge for LaShawn Mays Jr.
Silver Creek really finished that off there. You saw a pancake in the back of the end zone by one of the Silver Creek offensive linemen on the South Oldham defensive line. That's going to show up on film right there and not make South Oldham too happy.
For Mays, who last week had 15 carries, 151 yards and a touchdown. That's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. And here's Carly Troutman to try to put the extra point through the uprights.
Got to get a little effort here. Try to get a block, save a point.
Short kick, but it looks like it's going to make its way through, and it does. 14-0 now, Silver Creek. And, Coach, it's gut check time for this South Oldham team, down 2 touchdowns in the second quarter.
Yeah, nothing but positive words are being spoken right now, though, from Coach Reed. I know, he's a confident guy, and he's going to be confident in this football team. Only down 2 scores. They're not out of this by any means. You get a little momentum going right here. You get the ball at halftime, like. This is still a football game, but they gotta have some possession, man. They gotta get a little rhythm going. Not put themselves in some 3rd and long situations and make that quarterback work to convert. I want to see him get a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of juice going here on offense, and really test that Silver Creek defense in some way. Coach Reed is a really good strategist, so he's had 1 series under his belt. The guys up top are telling him what they're doing. He's figuring things out a little bit. I expect him to come out here and have a good drive.
Back deep for South Oldham, Luke Oliveros and also Jacob Acevedo. And to kick this one away, Jake Waldrop.
This is not a bad spot to get some momentum back right here either. Special teams, see if you can get a little juice going right here.
Check that. It's been Blues on the kickoff, and Blues gets it to Oliveros. Oliveros able to get across the 35, and another little push here. They'll give him the 39. Nice return from Oliveros to get South Oldham decent field position.
Personal coaching note there. I used to catch a lot of flack from people in the stands because I never liked kicking it deep. I always liked to onside kick it. And people ask me why. Well, we're playing with 15, 20 yards of field position right there versus trying to get the ball back. So, I was a big advocate that we were going to try to get the ball back every time we kicked off.
Do you like the sky kick, Coach? Do you like that angled sky kick?
The pooch kick is great too, because typically those guys that are up in the second line, they're not your best hands guys. So putting the ball up and putting it short, let it roll around on the ground, increases your chances of getting an extra possession.
McGee in the shotgun fakes the handoff, going to throw deep down the field. He's got Oliveros, and who's going to come away with it? It is intercepted by Shane, and now they're going to say incompletion.
That was a catch.
He was on his back, and it rolled around, and showing the football had it slapped away.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not in the NFL that wasn't a catch, but out here.
And no replay here.
No, I think he had possession of it, but South Oldham catches a break. I thought he had him beat, man. That was a good little play fake there, good play call to take a shot, had his man beat. I think the quarterback needed to stick it a little bit more, put the ball on a line instead of so much air. But a good break for South Oldham and get back into a little run game right here.
Another problem with that, Coach, they had 2 receivers in the same spot on the field, so you had 2 defenders there.
Yeah, I think somebody was probably wanting to be a little bit greedy there and get too close to the ball.
Here's a handoff to McCubbin coming in motion from left to right. McCubbin, nice little gain here. He's going to pick up about 4 yards to the 43. It makes it 3rd and 6.
Yeah, good tough run, man. That was a hard run, bouncing off some bodies there, fighting for those extra yards. So what? We're third and 7 here almost. So again, we're in that range where you probably got to put the ball in the air if you're South Oldham. But if that's the case, look for him to get on the edge with a little bootleg. But this formation looks like run to me, so maybe they're going to keep the ball on the ground.
Shotgun, handoff. McCubbin up the middle, got running room. Big time, 50, 45, and tripped up as he got to the 43-yard line. Check that, Joe Lemon, the defensive back, the senior, able to pull him down, but not before McCubbin gets enough for the first down.
Yeah, I like that. That was a good run play, a little misdirection. You show the fullback going one way, hand the ball going the other way. That was a big hole. I could have ran through that one, and I'm not an athlete anymore.
Gain of 13 on the play. McCubbin gets it into enemy territory, Silver Creek 44. Only one back there this time with McGee. He'll get the snap, rolling left, wants to set up, throws. Throw is complete at the 40-yard line, and then Gang tackled there. Let's wait and see who that is. I think it might be Trimble. It is Trimble.
You see the fight right now from South Oldham. They're fighting for the extra yard. They're playing hard. You know, that's one thing that you get with this Dragon team all the time is there is no quit. There is effort from first snap to last snap, and they're fighting hard right now.
And Trimble got one yak, so it's a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 coming up from the 39. On the left hash mark, as you see it, McGee rolls right this time. Pulls it down, throws out of bounds. Oh, did he catch a receiver? He did. What a great catch. And then falling out of bounds, Christian Danielson, the senior, 6'2", 180, first catch of the day.
Hey, that's a great play. You're going to put that on your highlight reel after the game, but he had 2 receivers. He could have made that play a lot easier on himself. I thought he had the hitch right off the jump, and then he didn't go to the hitch. He had the corner open too. So, you know, again, still trying to figure some things out in this new offense, but he had some guys open early. I like that play. They're there.
McGee did not look upfield in time to see that open hitch, Coach, that you were talking about. First down to the 32. They'll hand off up the middle. And with a big gain is Maddox Fleener, the fullback, as he gets across the 25, but I think they're going to say knee down at the 26-yard line, a gain of 6.
Yeah, here's that rhythm I'm talking about. So, you know, in the spread, the concept sometimes is throw to set up the run. So they've had a couple good pass plays, getting on the edge with their sprint out, and now you see that run game kind of coming into fruition here with the 4 wide receivers.
Fleener out. Dalen Graves comes in. He's the back in the backfield, the junior. Clap of the hands, McGee gets it, will give it to, no, he fakes it, pulls it out, runs it himself. 20, 15, 10, and down inside the 10-yard line at the 9. What a run by quarterback McGee.
Great play call, great execution on that. I thought the inside zone had the ball as well, but there's the real first time tonight we've seen McGee involved in the run game. That was a called run. He wasn't reading that. Coach called that for him. Great blocking on the edge. Again, anytime you get great runs out wide with big gains, your wide receivers are blocking hard.
Makes it 1st and goal from the 10. Fake the handoff, a busted play, and McGee just tries to lean forward. Somebody was supposed to be there that wasn't. McGee just decided to tuck it and run. Smart play by the quarterback. He's able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he recognized it pretty quickly and got what he can get. And, you know, he's up. He's cheering his teammates on. You see him being positive in the huddle, which is what you want from your quarterback after a busted play.
Into the game is Hayden. Coming out is Acevedo. 2nd and goal now from the 10. 2 backs in the backfield with McGee this time. Snap, handoff up the middle, running room. Down inside the 5 is Reagan. Nope. Make that McCubbin. McCubbin was able to get down inside the 5-yard line all the way down to about the 2.
I like the way he runs, and now South Oldham's feeling comfortable, right? They're able to lean on those big boys. You got a yard to go to get in line or to get into the end zone and get your first score. Again, nothing but positive words being spoken. You got that Silver Creek defense on their heels, and they're going to take a timeout to talk about it.
6 minutes even left to go. We'll keep it right here. 6 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. It is 14-0 Silver Creek. A lot of running the football, so this clock has been constantly running pretty much this entire game. We're going at a fairly quick clip here. But, Coach, you said it. Once South Oldham found that rhythm, mixing in the passing plays, then running up the middle, they were able to move down the field.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe, too, because you hear that in the game of football a lot. And I have a lot of people ask me, like, what does that really mean when you talk about rhythm? Well, you're talking about plays that work off each other, right? A run that looks like a pass, or a pass that looks like a run, that's getting that defense moving one way and you're doing something else. And then you get a little bit of confidence going. You get a little momentum going. You start feeling good about yourself, and then everything starts working.
We'll see if South Oldham needs 2 plays or just one, as it's 3rd down. They've got 2 yards to go to get their first score of the game. And I think this is a real mental test here. If you don't get this in, Coach, it'll play with your mind a little bit.
Yeah, it's 4-down territory. They got 2 plays to get this in. They're thinking 6 points, and nothing else. But yeah, we'll, it is disheartening to get this far and come up empty. That's for sure. So I know they're gonna work their butt off to get in.
McCubbin will get the call, makes his move inside.
No signal short.
They're gonna say down right near the goal line, but McCubbin got close. It'll be a 4th down plunge from inside the 1 coming up for South Oldham. It was McCubbin and Fleener. I thought maybe for a moment that they would fake to McCubbin and then have the fullback take that in.
Yeah, that, or again, McGee had a good run on this play. Everybody's selling out, in the middle right now to stop that inside run. If you like something on the edge, let that quarterback keep it and see if he can walk in.
Can the size of South Oldham take over here? 4th down and goal from inside the 1. McGee slaps the hands, gets the snap, gives it to McCubbin inside the end zone. Touchdown, South Oldham.
Great drive, great answer by South Oldham. That's exactly what you need. And that's what I expect from a team that has had championship aspirations for a while now. That is a great drive by all of South Oldham's team and coaching staff there, putting that one together and keeping them in the game. That's a momentum shifter right now. We got 5 minutes to go to halftime. You got your defense a good rest. Some of those big boys get a little extra. Oh, we got a flag. They tried to go for 2. We tried this. We ran something similar at North Oldham when I was coaching, and you always look to see if the other team gets lined up right, and if they don't, you get a quick snap, but you got to get set. That's always kind of the key, much like a pitcher throwing addressing home plate. You got to get set or it's a balk, right? It's very similar here. That's why they called the penalty.
So they're going to look at this again. Let's see what they do. They may go for 2 anyway. I think they are here. The kicker is out there now. Now McGee looks like he'll spot the football.
Yeah, they're going to kick this.
Be an extra point attempt, 14-6. The 1-yard run by McCubbin, his first of the year. Here's the extra point.
Missed it.
I think it's off to the left, and it is. The extra point, no good.
So that's tough. You get all the way down there, you get 6 points, but, still that can end up being big one way or the other. You think, it's 1 point, it's whatever, but talking about the psychological aspect of it, if you worked hard, you had a good drive, get all the way down, you earn those 6 points, and you come up 1 short. So for Silver Creek, that's a little bit of a victory, right? You're using that as motivation to get them back in the game and pump your own team back up. And now South Oldham's defense, they got 5 minutes. They got to come out and hold. They can't give up any big runs. They got to keep everything in front of them. But you should have a little bit of energy right now. You should be feeling good. Defensive coordinators telling the team to get the ball back, gang tackle, rip and strip, give that offense another chance.
I believe the kick by Ellsbury was the player that tried to kick that one. And double check here. No, it's actually Durham. Durham, the senior kicker, who's going to kick off. But I believe Ellsbury with the extra point attempt that went awry and went wide left. So 5:18 to play before halftime, 14-6. Silver Creek with the lead. They have scored on both of their offensive series. North Oldham on their second drive was able to get one in just moments ago. A 1-yard run by the running back, Jack McCubbin, his first of the year.
And like I talked about, that's you set yourself up because the South gets the ball at halftime. So this is a really big possession for both teams to set the second half up to see which way the momentum is going to swing.
Shane and Hoffman are back deep for Silver Creek, standing at the 4. And here's the kickoff from Durham. It is short. Racing up to get it is Shane at the 16, and he's got a head of steam. Tripped up, though, as he crossed the 30. And he'll get to the 36, a 20-yard return for Trey Shane. I am shocked that we have not seen Trey Shane carry the ball more than we have. It's been Mays and it's been Hoffman pretty much tonight.
Yeah, well, he's got one carry. He's got the touchdown,
the 20-yarder, yeah 22-yarder.
So that's pretty much his only touch on the football. I guess again, you like what you're doing. You've been successful calling the plays you've called, and there's no real reason to mix things up just to get somebody a touch here or there. You do what you're successful with.
Good starting field position for Silver Creek at their own 36. Snap, turn, Mays, handoff up the middle, bounces off one, bounces off two, gang tackled at the 43-yard line. First man to get in there and kind of hold him up was the linebacker, DJ Jacobs.
So Silver Creek's, I kind of see what they're doing right now. They're attacking what I call the hole. So South with that four-man front, you have a nose and a tackle, right? So that nose is usually lined up over the center. You got your tackle lined up over a guard. So Silver Creek is trying to attack that hole between the nose and the defensive end where you got that line that you got to make that linebacker come down and take on some blocks.
8-yard gain by Mays on first down, makes it second and short, 2nd and 2. He's dotting the power I. He will not get the handoff. It's a pass. They're going to try to go to Shane, and overthrowing the football that time is the quarterback, Peyton Lacey.
Good discipline there by the South Oldham defense. Again, Silver Creek trying to take a shot. Was that the second pass we've seen, second or third?
I believe the second one, yeah.
Yeah, they put the ball in the air. So, trying to catch him off guard. Good play call there. You were in second and 3, so good time to take a shot. But good discipline by South Oldham defense. Big play right here.
Shane caught one in the first quarter. He had 2 catches last week against Charleston. The only 2 passes completed by Silver Creek. 3rd and 2. Handoff. Mays bangs up the middle. He'll get it.
Down, yeah.
He's going to get to the 47, a yard more than he needed. Pick up a 3.
Same concept there, running right at the hole in the defense between the nose and the defensive end. You got one-on-one with the guard getting to the linebacker, and he's got to get off that block and make a play. It's tough. We'll see if South Oldham maybe switches that up a little bit, maybe goes with a little bit more of an even front. You can put those guys head up over the guard, and that way it makes the blocking assignments a little bit tougher.
Down to 4 minutes left to go here before halftime. 1st and 10 from their own 47 for Silver Creek. Ball nearer the left hash mark as we see it. Pitch will go to the outside to Katie Powell. He'll get the edge. He'll get more. First down into South Oldham territory, and then driven out of bounds after he got inside the 40-yard line. That's a gain of about 16 down to the 37.
South did mix the front up, and this is, you hear guys talk about a chess match in football, and that's what we got going right here because South mixed their front up. They went to a 5-man front. They moved their defensive line in a little bit, walked the backer up on the edge, and when you see that, you're not thinking you got that inside run anymore, so then the coach called the outside toss play. You're a little bit lighter on the edge because you got your outside backer walked up already. So a good little chess match going here between offense and defense.
1st and 10 from the 37 of South Oldham now, and they'll go to Shane. He's caught in the backfield.
Great play.
Breaking through the line and making the tackle that time for South Oldham was, I believe, Elijah Lally. Let's wait and see here who they give that credit to, but one of the defensive linemen came knifing through and caught Shane in the backfield for a loss of 4.
Yeah, good play. Whenever you can read that pull and you get in his hip pocket and you just chase him down, that's DBs get interceptions. That's an equivalent to an interception for a defensive line when you make a TFL, for that big of loss in the backfield. So South Oldham doing a good job. You got them down. The clock's running. They gotta see if they can get a stop here. They still have a chance of getting the ball back. Might use a timeout if they get a stop here.
2nd and 14, 3 minutes to go. Shane will go in motion once again. They'll fake the handoff to him, give to Mays. Mays, short yardage. He's not even going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He'll get to the 39 and pick up 2. It'll bring up 3rd and 12, and here's a chance here, Coach. You got him behind the sticks.
Yep.
You need to make the stop here, don't you?
Yep, we got Coach Reed called a timeout. So that's what he's hoping for. We got him in 3rd and long. So if you're Silver Creek, you got 2 options. You're not great in the pass game, right? So you're going to try to do a play action, which you're coming over the sideline. DC's telling his DBs to be awake, don't fall asleep. Or you go to your bread and butter, toss sweep, jet sweep, which they had the big run on. So we'll see what Silver Creek wants to come out and do. But huge play here for the South Oldham defense. If they can get a stop here, call another timeout, they're going to get the ball back with a chance to maybe even this up even before we get to the break.
I'll give credit for that tackle in the backfield on Shane. Ethan Phillips was the one that broke through and was able to get the tackle on Shane that started this domino effect here of getting Silver Creek in a 3rd and 12 situation. They are on the South Oldham 39. I would expect this to be 4-down territory for Silver Creek.
Yeah, and that hasn't happened much too, but you see maybe Silver Creek starts to struggle a little bit when they get behind the chains, right? That they don't have that pass game option. So when you get them behind the chains, they maybe start getting a little bit uncomfortable. So you got to get a little bit more penetration with that defensive line and keep preaching that. Get in the backfield.
And how about this? Silver Creek, no penalties so far in this game. What a disciplined team.
Well coached.
3rd and 12. Under center is the quarterback. And the pass is coming left side. It's out into no man's land. It is picked off. Intercepted by Nathan Hale. Hale stepped in front of the intended receiver in Lowry and picked it off. Big play for the defense for South Oldham.
Yeah, great play. That's what I talked about there. You either got a play action, which you kind of know is coming, is really their only pass play they've ran so far. So, it's an interception, but at the end of the day, that's just as good as a punt. When you're talking about field position, but lots of time here for South Oldham's offense to work down the field. Long way to go, but they got 2 timeouts here because they put the ball in the air. So, they got some opportunities to stop the clock and really an opportunity to work that pass game that they've been trying since they put this offense in the spring.
That is the first interception of the year for South Oldham as a team. Can they get something going here with just 2:35 to go? McGee is going to stop his roll and get sacked back in the backfield. And Lowry is the man that pass was intended for a moment ago. He gets a little revenge here with the sack of McGee and a big loss back to the 14.
Same thing I said when Silver Creek was on offense. So, you get behind the sticks like this. I know South is trying to push the ball down the field, but that's a huge loss. It's going to make it a lot harder for them to get to march down the field. They're going to have a shot play here. I know Coach Reed's got a couple gadget plays in his playbook. We'll see if he breaks one out on this right here before halftime.
9-yard loss on the sack. McGee is going to roll left again. He stops. He's going to have to get rid of the football, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Big paw up in the air, and Lowry again on the play. Lowry having a defensive career night here for Silver Creek.
And Silver Creek's only bringing 4, though. We got a late flag coming in. So we'll see probably dead ball foul. We got a personal foul. Somebody said something
I believe it was the motions that Lowry was making that caught the ire of the referee. And just as Coach Gamsky said, the flag flown very late. With 1:52 remaining, the clock stops. And we'll see what they're going to wave it off. They're going to wave it off, so no penalty. And the ball stays at the 14-yard line. It is 3rd and 19. You want to try to keep the clock running here, Coach, so you don't give Silver Creek great field position with a punt and a chance to add on to the lead.
Yeah, that's true. Not much time has ran off the clock. Again, I think Silver Creek only bringing 4. They may bring 5 here with those guys up. Yeah,
handoff up the middle, and it's McCubbin who's going to get to the 15, only a gain of a yard. Actually, no, that was Oliveros that had the carry up the middle.
So good job by the Silver Creek defense turning the ball over, but coming onto the field with their defense and hanging tough, keeping the South Oldham offense back on their end. They're going to get great field position here on the
they just
punt.
used a timeout, too, to stop the clock. So both teams now with just 1 timeout remaining. The punt coming up from their own 15 from South Oldham. 14-6 is your score, as you see on your screen. South Oldham falling behind early by 2 touchdowns. They just made a run, able to get a scoring drive put together. A 1-yard plunge by the running back, McCubbin, put them on the scoreboard. And then they got an interception when Silver Creek was driving here late in the first half, but they were unable to do anything with it. McGee, the quarterback for South Oldham, sacked on the first play of the drive. They were behind the sticks from that point and having to play catch-up. Now they're going to have to punt the football away. There's your game recap.
Yeah, I get trying to push the ball down the field. You're trying to be aggressive, close the gap right there, right before half. Knowing you get the ball at halftime, so you can be kind of aggressive and take that shot. But again, the field position battle, means a lot. So, maybe an alternate thought would have been to run the ball to get to halftime and make Silver Creek use some of their timeouts so they don't have quite as much time here. But we'll see what kind of punt we get from the South Oldham team.
Punt. The punter has his heels right on the goal line, and he'll get it kicked away. It's a end-over-end punt. It'll bounce at the 36, take a South Oldham bounce, and go all the way inside Silver Creek territory at the 49-yard line. Nothing that the return man, Joe Lemon, could do but just helplessly watch as it was downed by the coverage team. And they'll start, although in their own territory, they get good field position.
Yeah, so again, hitting on the field position game. So when Silver Creek threw that interception, they were probably on the 40, 45, right? So then you give the ball to South Oldham down on the 10. You get the ball back on the 50. So when you hear people talk about that field position battle, that's what we're talking about right there. They've really only lost, in the last two possessions, they've only lost 5 yards at field position.
36-yard punt from South Oldham there with 1:26 now. Ball on the far hash as we see it across the way. 49-yard line of Silver Creek. Quarterback.
We're in gun
Shotgun here. This is interesting. They'll go to Shane, try to stretch it to the outside. He's going to be caught. Great tackle. Sam Reagan comes in and takes Shane down as they try to stretch the field to the outside, a loss of 3.
So you store that one in your back pocket if you're a coach. When they go gun, they bring somebody in motion. You're expecting maybe Shane to get the ball on a jet sweep. I can't recall if they were in gun the first time they ran that play, but I think that's probably the first time we've seen them in shotgun tonight.
They're taking their time here. Less than a minute to go. It does not look like they will try to put much into motion as far as the drive goes here.
No, we're going to take it to halftime.
2nd and 13 now. We're going to see, again, the power eye and under center. And the quarterback, Lacey, will hand off, and it's Mays, and Mays will bang his way into South Oldham territory. He was just bouncing off guys. That was a truck move that he made at the 45 to get to the 42.
He's a tough runner, man. You don't want to be up around his shoulder pads when you tackle him, man. You got to get on those ankles, especially if you're a DB. You got to get low and you got to wrap up. And we teach the gator roll. The hawk tackle became famous. Pete Carroll made that kind of famous. Grab that leg and roll like a gator and try to use his momentum to get him down.
12-yard gain makes it 3rd and 1. Power eye again. They will go to Mays. No, check that. It's Powell on the pitch. He's going to get the edge. No flag comes down, and down inside the 30-yard line to the 28.
I saw that from up here. South Oldham got tackled on that play, but, hey, you can't catch them all.
9.5 seconds remaining, and a timeout. Silver Creek uses their last one as they get inside the South Oldham 30 to the 28-yard line. This is obviously with Lacey's arm. He's not the strongest quarterback in the world, but I would say he could probably get to the end zone from here, Coach.
Yeah, that run puts you in an interesting spot here. Again, I don't think you're in field goal range, but, it doesn't really hurt you to take a shot if something does go, something happen where the ball ends up in the other hand. You're just, you're talking about making sure you get a tackle, you get him down in field of play, you get to halftime. But interesting coaching decision right here, getting to that run. Although I see Silver Creek's coaches coming down from the box, so maybe they're not going to try something too crazy right here. That's kind of a giveaway.
Dave Pappenhouse talking to his team. And now everybody's ready to go on the far hash across the way. 9.5 seconds, 14-6. Silver Creek trying to put something else on the board here at the end of the first half. Again, the power eye formation, the wing to the right side in Shane. Mays will dot the I. And a fumble. The fumble and the loose ball picked up by South Oldham. They will dodge the bullet. Picking up that loose ball was Ethan Phillips. We talked about him a moment ago as he made a tackle for loss already in this game, and he was the one that came up with the loose ball. The snap was never, ever secured.
So I'll say that that's a big play for this reason, because as coaches, you're always talking about trying to win the turnover battle. Well, South's got 2, and they haven't turned the ball over at all. So going into halftime, you like where you're at, ball security-wise, defensively taking the ball away. I always said if we win the turnover battle, it's one check in our favor to make sure we win the football game.
And here's another thing, too. South Oldham will get the football to start the second half. They had the opening kickoff, in which Silver Creek took 74 yards for a touchdown in a 12-play drive.
They're still coming out. They may take a shot here.
2 wide to either side, 1 back. McGee throws complete to Danielson, and Danielson gets away from a tackle, then tackled at the 36-yard line. They get 7, but not enough to keep things going, and it'll be halftime here at Cy Tucker Field at Urban Stadium. It is 14-6. Silver Creek has the lead, and South Oldham will have the football to begin the second half. We'll take a short timeout, come back, and gather our thoughts, give you a rundown of the scoring plays, a lot more in our halftime coverage here on Glycon.com.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Robert Lane is not a seasoned politician. He grew up in Oldham County and has been in the trenches alongside first responders for over 20 years. As sheriff, he will provide fresh, community-oriented policing perspectives while maintaining a duty to serve citizens fairly and impartially. Vote for a candidate with a servant's heart. Vote Robert Lane for Oldham County Sheriff, committed to community.
I'm Robert Lane, and I approve this message.
Paid for and approved by Robert Lane for Oldham County Sheriff.
Want to replace your old, rotted, and drafty windows? What would your house look like with the newest and high-quality? Metro Windows has been locally owned for over 30 years and is the proud carrier of the Windsor window line. Give Metro Windows a call today at 222-7828. That's 222-7828, Metro Windows.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Metro Windows. Replace your old, rotted windows today. Call Kyle at 502-550-1489. That's Metro Windows at 502-550-1489.
COVID changes everything in this day and age, and that includes high school football schedules. This game hastily arranged midweek in the past week after the original opponent for South Oldham, who was going to be the Fairdale Bulldogs, they were not able to play because of COVID protocol. So, hastily arranged means that a team from across the river will come across and play South Oldham tonight. They get the Silver Creek Dragons, both teams the Dragons in this one, as we are at halftime here at Urban Stadium. 14-6, Silver Creek with the lead. It was a coin flip that went to South Oldham. They elected to defer to the second half, so they kicked the ball away to Silver Creek to start the game. 74 yards later, and about, I said 12 plays a moment ago, it was actually 10 plays later, they were able to get into the end zone on a 22-yard run by their star, Trey Shane, the running back. The extra point was added by the kicker, Carly Troutman, and the score was 7-0 with 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. In the second quarter, with 9:59 left to go, Silver Creek would score again. This time, a 1-yard plunge by the big back in the backfield, LaShun Mays Jr., 6'1", 220, just a junior. And he gets his second touchdown of the year on the ground. Troutman put the extra point through, and it was 14-0. Again, just 1 second less than 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. It was 14-0 at that point, and it looked as if that South Oldham was on their heels just a little bit. They took the kickoff, and with 5:18 left to go in the second quarter before halftime, they were able to put a drive together, a 12-play drive, 1-yard touchdown run by the running back Jack McCubbin, and it's McCubbin's first rushing touchdown of the year. The extra point was pushed wide left by the kicker Ellsbury, and that made the score 14-6 with 5:18 left to go in the second quarter. Silver Creek would get the kickoff after that score by South Oldham, drive down the field, get inside the 40-yard line of South Oldham. But an interception on a third down play by Nathan Hale, the defensive back, a junior for South Oldham, gave the football back to the South Oldham Dragons. They went 3 and out with a sack included there, punted the ball away, 36-yard punt, put the football at the 49-yard line of Silver Creek. The Silver Creek team not able to get anything going on that drive, ended up halftime. 14-6 your score right now. Silver Creek on top by 8 points. It will be South Oldham's ball to start the second half, so they will receive the kickoff, and we'll see what the Dragons of South Oldham can do with it as we begin the second half. We will talk a little bit more about this game with our color commentator, Coach Joe Gamsky. He'll return here in just a moment, and a lot more coming up as we keep going here at South Oldham High School. 14-6, Silver Creek in the lead at halftime. Back in a moment on Glycod.com.
Old, rotted, and drafty windows? What would your house look like with the newest and high-quality windows on the market? With just one call to Metro Windows, you can choose from a great selection of aluminum-clad, vinyl, and rot-free windows at an affordable price. And Metro Windows can also replace just the glass and failed windows, too. Their installers are Oldham County residents that take pride in their work and craftsmanship. Metro Windows has been locally owned for over 30 years and is the proud carrier of the Windsor window line. Give Metro Windows a call today at 222-7828. That's 222-7828, Metro Windows.
Crestwood Coin Laundry, Oldham County's leading laundromat for over 25 years. Located at 6520 West Highway 146, Crestwood Coin Laundry offers state-of-the-art facilities in a clean, inviting atmosphere. You can wash and dry clothes yourself, or you can drop off your clothes in the morning and have them back clean, dry, and folded that afternoon. Their extra-large washers are perfect for comforters and large items, and all larger machines accept credit cards. They're open at 8 on weekdays and 7 on weekends for your convenience. Stop in or visit them online, CrestwoodCoinLaundryKY.com.
Today we're talking home renovation with the owner of Watts Home Center, Brian Watts. You just built this beautiful new design center. How does it help your clients?
Well, we made it very interactive to help the customers make decisions from the beginning of the project to the end. On the home design side, we have cabinets, flooring, lighting. Back here on the contractor side, we have windows, doors, siding, and we can help with any project.
And you have experts to walk them through the whole process.
Everybody here has.
You're tuned in to Oldham High School's football on Glycod.
Welcome Welcome back as we are at halftime. South Oldham trailing 14-6 to Silver Creek in this battle of Kentucky versus Indiana high schools in the football season. Let's take a look at the schedules for these two teams remaining here for the rest of the season. Of course, Silver Creek coming in at 1-0 after beating their rival Charlestown last week 39-14. Next week, they'll be at Floyd Central. That's always a tough get. They'll be on the road to take on Floyd Central, then back home for them on September the 10th as they'll take on Eastern out of Indiana. Eastern out of the city of Pekin, Indiana. And then at Scottsburg, at home against Jeffersonville, 2 road games in a row, North Harrison and Brownstown Central, and then finish up the regular season against Corydon Central on October the 15th. The playoff season lasts a little bit longer on the part of the Indiana, on the side of the Indiana side of the river is what I'm trying to say. It starts a little bit earlier and goes for a little bit longer. So South Oldham, what they have in store for them, they lost, of course, last week to Cal. We mentioned that, final score of 31-11. Silver Creek this week. Then they have 2 road games in a row. They go to Ballard, tough game. They go to their rival in North Oldham, and then they take on Oldham County here at home to start a 3-game homestand. Oldham County, Jeffersontown, and North Bullitt before they hit the road again on October 15th to take on a Seneca team and then finish out the regular season on October the 29th, taking on Central Hardin here at home. So the district road in Class 5A, District 4 for Coach Jamie Reed and the Dragons, going to be a tough get. North Bullitt, Seneca, Central Hardin. We'll see how they are able to piece things together as they move on down the road in this season. Tonight, 14-6 is your score. A rushing touchdown for Trey Shane, a rushing touchdown for LaShun Mays on the Silver Creek side of the ledger. And then for South Oldham, they're able to get Jack McCubbin into the end zone for his first rushing touchdown of the year. Missed extra point is the big thing glaring at you on the scoreboard. It is 14-6 here at halftime. We'll take another break, come back, get the thoughts of Joe Gamsky. See what the coach says if he's in the locker room for both of these two teams, what his thoughts would be. That's next here on GlideCod.com.
Looking for sound, prudent financial advice? Did you know that one of the brightest and best financial advisors is in your own backyard? Robin Lawson of Financial Solutions Incorporated has a mission to understand your long-term goals and to create a specific strategy just for you. Robin understands the challenges that face most of us today and offers fresh, out-of-the-box thinking that can put you on the road to financial freedom. Contact Robin Lawson today at 502-225-9900. That's 502-225-9900 or visit lawsonfinancial.net.
Summer is here. That puts a lot of strain on your air conditioner. Are you ready? Call Thompson Heating and Cooling today for an HVAC checkup. Because the last time you want to find out your air conditioner isn't working is when you really need it. At Thompson, we offer a 2-hour appointment window, so you won't be kept waiting all day. We're fully stocked and prepared, and 90% of our calls are repaired that day. And as always, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call us today for express service.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
You're tuned in to Oldham High School's football on GlideCod.
Halftime winding down. We're getting set for the start of the second half. I'm Jim Tyree, and Coach Joe Gamsky has joined me once again to talk a little bit about these two teams, what they've done so far, and what we can expect in the second half. Coach, I'm going to put you right back in that South Oldham locker room. You've been there many, many times. Talk about what Jamie Reed is telling this team. Is it more about keeping your head up and, hey, we're in this game, even though some things didn't go our way, we're still at it, and we get the ball first?
Yeah, there's two conversations happening in the locker room at halftime. You have the conversation that you're having with your coaches in the back without the team, and then you're having what you're actually saying to the team when the time comes. So, if I'm talking to my team, I'm telling them we're right where we want to be. You're trying to give them the confidence, let them know that we're in the position that suits us, that is perfect for us. We're going to get the ball to start the game or to start the second half, and we're going to do what we want. We got a little momentum there. We know the plays to call, right? You're trying to tell your team you're in control, right? And then there's the conversation that happens with your coaches. And what I'm talking about my coaches with is I think number 10 is going to be hard to tackle in the fourth quarter. He's going to be a load. So defensively, we got to figure out how we can keep that run game off balance and what we can do to continue to get some of those TFLs in the backfield to get that Silver Creek team behind the chains, which we saw they weren't very comfortable doing there in the first half when that happened. So you let them methodically move the ball. They're in third and short and second and short. They're playing their football game. You got to get them in some third and long situations.
Well, I'll flip that coin on you then and tell you, hey, you're in the Silver Creek locker room, Coach Dave Pappenhouse. What is it? Just, hey guys, more of the same. We just kind of line up and do exactly what we did. No penalties in the first half. Disciplined team, run the football basically the way they wanted to. Is it just, hey, keep the script going?
Yeah, I'm telling them, hey, when we execute, they can't stop us. Get up, line up, execute. Know your assignment, be fundamentally sound, and we're going to continue to move the football. I think you've seen Coach on the sideline the times that he's gotten upset. It's probably they've missed the block, they made a mistake up front, but that's exactly what he's saying to them is, hey, they can't stop us. We're going to get in the fourth quarter. We're going to run it right down their throat, and there's going to be nothing we can do about it. But again, same concept. You're trying to instill that confidence in your team, let them know that you're in control, and that's kind of the game at halftime. Sometimes you get in there and you want to get them a little motivated, but from what I've seen on both sides of the game right now, that the teams have the motivation they need. We've seen the the momentum swings. Both teams have had energy at times, so there's not probably a whole lot of hooping and hollering and yelling going on from either one of these coaching staffs going in at halftime because they're getting pretty much what they want right now.
You start talking about the intangibles. You mentioned just before halftime, South Oldham forced Silver Creek into 2 turnovers. The only negative part of that is no points off either of those turnovers. So, you can go in and kind of pump your team up a little bit by saying, hey, we've already forced them into a couple of turnovers, but they know they weren't able to turn anything out of those 2 turnovers.
Yeah, so there's something you're talking about, room for growth in the second half. We've got 2, let's get 2 more, and let's make those count. They came late in the second half, so not a real big opportunity. Well, the first one they had an opportunity to do something, and, Silver Creek had a good defensive stand. But, you like your chances winning the turnover battle. Like I said, it gives you kind of one of those check boxes in your favor to come ahead out tonight. The other one, again, which Silver Creek is probably winning in, is the run game category, which is going to be, it's going to be interesting to see. But South Oldham's best defense against that is their offense, controlling the ball themselves, having some good long drives on offense, keeping that defense fresh, keeping them off the field, and keeping the ball out of number 10's hands is going to be good for your health tonight.
10 is LaShun Mays with 1 touchdown run tonight. He's probably somewhere around the neighborhood of 85 to 90 rushing yards in the first half. The one guy they have not let beat him, though, Coach, is Trey Shane, the exceptional athlete for Silver Creek. Last week against Charleston, he had 11 carries, 226 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and he caught the only 2 passes completed in the game by Silver Creek for 84 yards and a touchdown. He does have the 122-yard run for a score tonight, but for the most part, he's been caught for 3 tackles for loss by the South Oldham defense.
Yeah, as a defensive coordinator, you're trying to figure out what can you take away, right? You can't defend everything on a week of practice. You're not taking everything away. So what can you take away? What do you focus on? If you got a really good good player. Let's try to limit his impact on the game, make somebody else beat you. And South has done a really good job with that. Again, from Silver Creek's perspective, you got a lot of good traction on the ground, so I don't know that you try to force the ball in his hand in any way, but if it comes naturally with a chance to get him the ball, you do it.
Ben Blues will kick it away, and South Oldham will take a short kickoff at the 17-yard line. It's Acevedo, I believe, that's going to get the football and get up the field across the 30 to about the 30. No, it is Oliveros on the return. And they'll give him the 34-yard line. A return of 17 from Oliveros. Good field position for South Oldham to start the drive.
We got some other schools from the county in action tonight. My former team, North Oldham, is at Great Crossing. Great Crossing is up 2-0 against North with a in the first quarter.
That's a baseball score,
It
Coach.
is. Shelby County and OC are battling out at Oldham County. That score's 6-6 right now into the first.
Great Crossing with that absolute FBS talent in Luke Perry down there. He is going to be a good one. Here's the first handoff up the middle. Good running room as it's the fullback that is going to make it through, Maddox Fleener. And Fleener able to get across the 40 to the 42. It's a gain of 7, 2nd and 3.
He's had some good runs, man. You know, he doesn't look flashy when he runs the ball, but he's got 2 hands on it. He takes care of it. And that's probably his second or third, 6-7 yard run out of the backfield. So maybe they found something there.
Danielson in at wideout, Acevedo out. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left, and to throw is McGee. The quick sit-down catch made by Danielson at the 49-yard line. They open up the passing game a little bit here, and they pick up a first down.
I talked about that in the first half where they've had guys open on the hitches, and McGee's been just a little slow finding those. So I think that's a halftime adjustment you saw there. Coach Reed saw that. One of the guys up top saw it. Hey, the hitches is open. We just got to get the ball out of his hands and get it there.
And he has not rolled out yet either. That was something they were doing a lot in the first half. That time he just dropped and threw.
That was their first pocket pass. Good point.
In motion goes Oliveros, but the handoff up the middle to McCubbin. McCubbin will get a nice push up to around the 46 into Silver Creek territory. Where are they going to spot him here? They give him the 46, 5 yards on first down.
Good opening drive so far, controlled. You see that temperament from South Oldham coming out, that they sense that they're in control of this game, and no panic in their offense right now, just moving the ball.
Wide out to either side, 2 backs on the hip of McGee. Going to throw, going deep, left side, going for the wide receiver in Trimble, and he cannot pull it down. Good coverage by the Silver Creek defensive back, Joe Lemon, and Lemon is hurt. He is not able to put any weight down on his left leg at all, and in obvious pain, and the official will call timeout. And Lemon, he went up with Trimble for that, and as soon as he came down, the ball was incomplete. As soon as he planted, you could tell something was not right with the defensive back, Lemon.
Yeah, that was almost like one of those, probably those basketball plays, right? You see 2 guys going up for a rebound, the other one comes down on his foot. Yeah, I bet we got a sprain there. Hopefully nothing more. He's popping up right now.
Yeah, he's not going to, it's still a little bit tender, so he is going to walk off on his own power. Good for him.
I will say that's good defense by Trimble, the receiver there. Ball a little bit underthrown, so coming back, making sure that he doesn't, they don't get their first turnover away. So that's what you want to see from a receiver. If you can't catch it, make sure the other guy doesn't catch it.
And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for South Oldham. Their first 3rd down look on this drive will come in Silver Creek territory at the 46. 14-6 your halftime score as we bleed into the 3rd quarter here with 10:20 left to go. This is the first offensive set of the 2nd half.
So we'll see that quick hitch route at the sticks, or we'll see him bootleg and try to stick him at the pylon.
2 left, 1 right. They're going to look left, and he throws. Got a man. It's Trimble, and it's way over his head. That's the 3rd pass on those curl routes that McGee has not been able to get down and to the receiver. And Trimble, who is 6'4", has been on a couple of those.
I was going to say, he's almost a tough target to miss, man. He's tall and he can jump. And
he was wide open,
Coach.
He
was. McGee just missed him on that. So Coach Reed leading the offense on the field, knowing what he has, come back with something similar, something that attacks that same space, and trusting his quarterback to make a good throw here.
4th and 5 from the Silver Creek 46. 3 wideouts, trips to the left, 1 to the right. In motion goes Oliveros. Underneath, but McGee to throw, looks, pumps, now rolls to his right. There's a hold coming, and McGee is not going to get the first down. And, oh, wow, he got away from a tackle, but not able to get the stick. Got to the 45, and then tackled out of bounds on the Silver Creek sideline. I'm assuming now that the flag was thrown. I would assume that is a hold against South Oldham.
Yeah, and they'll probably decline this penalty since they held him short.
And it will be declined. So holding against South Oldham off the board. The play stands, and it's a turnover on downs. Boy, South Oldham moving the football early, just could not get the ball down on the pass to the inside curl.
So this is a tough moment right now because it's a perfect opportunity if to let your team hang their head. So you can't let your team do that if you're the coach. You know, you come out, you move the ball, you're being efficient, and you stall a little bit. But, you know, you don't have time to hang your head right now because Silver Creek's got the ball, and you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a heavy dose downhill. But it looks like Shane's in the backfield right now. They want to get him the football this half.
Yeah, they've dotted the I with him. First time we've seen that tonight, and they're going to pitch to him left side. Second half is probably going to be the Trey Shane show, and he'll get up to the 49-yard line. A gain of 5 on first down brings up 2nd and 5 as Silver Creek knocks on the door of South Oldham territory.
Yeah, you know, I said I don't know if I would force the ball in his hands, but you know they must like what they have in some of their up backs blocking for him. Get him a couple touches and see if he can maybe help bust this game wide open. You know, instead of giving the ball to your big bulldozer.
Offset is Lowry. Mays is the front back. Will block, pitch into the middle of the line, and Shane stopped at the line of scrimmage. Who was it that grabbed him around the waist and threw him down? I believe that tackle was made.
44.
Elijah Lally. Elijah Lally was able to get there, as well as Fleener, who's the fullback on offense, linebacker on defense. So both of them teaming up. They give him the 1-yard gain to the 50.
And you're in a good spot right now. It's 3rd and medium. You know what you're going to get. The ball's going to stay on the ground, so you got to fill your gaps and rally to the ball right here and hopefully get him in a 4th down situation.
They move Mays in front of Shane, and they'll pitch to Shane. Tries the left side, hurdles the line, gets the first down, and then tackled into the secondary at the 40-yard line. Shane will pick up a good 10 yards.
He's shifty, man. Which back in the day, you used to have Tiki Barber and Brandon Jacobs when they called him Thunder and Lightning. So you're kind of getting a little bit of that right here, where you got hit hard on the ground in the first half, and now you got this little shifty running back in the backfield. But they're switching it. Oh no, here we go. Okay.
Landon Arnold made the tackle. 1st and 10. They give him the 41, so just a 9-yard gain. They'll pitch it left side. Shane tries to hurdle again. This time, pin's taken out. He'll fall forward and get possibly about 3 to the 38-yard line of South Oldham.
I'm pretty sure that they've run the same play this entire drive. That little toss play with the pulling guard. So it's a power play, right? You're trying to run inside, get the defense to flow. But I'm pretty sure this is all we've seen from them so far this drive.
2nd and 7. He took one of the offensive linemen to tie his shoe. This time Lowry's in front. Shane is the offset, and they have Mays pitch to him. He's caught, driven back. May have been about a yard loss on the play, and Lally once again. Lally had 10 tackles last week against Cal. He got 2 big tackles here back-to-back.
That's a good stick, man, and that's what you got to have right there against the big back. You got to let him know that we can hit too, right? So when he wants to put his shoulder down, we got somebody that'll thud up as well, and we're not scared to make that play.
Wow, this is interesting. They spotted that at the 37. They give him a yard gain. I didn't think he got out to the line of scrimmage, but 3rd and 6. Let's see what South Oldham's defense can do. They'll give it to Lowry, and Lowry sidesteps one, then driven back. Lally hanging on for dear life, and then Landon Arnold coming up as well as Oliveros to help out on that play, and it'll be only a gain of 1 to the 36. It's 4th and 5.
So in their 4th downs in the first half, they ran play action once. They ran jet sweep the other time. So
Silver Creek has the football now, and we'll find out what they do on 4th and 5 in just a moment.
Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Colossians 3:23. Stinnett Plumbing, proudly serving Oldham County with a complete array of services from faucet fixes to bathroom renovations. Locally owned, built on integrity, and committed to bringing exceptional quality work to you. On call 24 hours a day for emergency repairs. Phone 502-690-3070. Stinnett Plumbing. You're tuned in to Oldham High School's football on Glycod.
Huge call coming up for Dave Pappenhouse and his Silver Creek Dragons, 4th and 5. It's a big call for the defense of South Oldham, too, and Jamie Reed's squad. 6:11 to go in the third, 14-6, Silver Creek in the lead. And a 4th and 5, possession down here.
You're going to go with your bread and butter right here, I think. You know, you got 2 fullbacks in there. Let's see if they just run that little toss again.
In motion goes Davidson. They'll give the football to Shane.
Short.
He's not going to get there. Let's see who comes off the bottom of that pile. I believe Lally is there. He is. So Lally had a good defensive stand. Also, Fleener comes off of that pile as well. So a good job by the defense of South Oldham. They shut down Shane after Shane had one pretty decent-sized run in that drive.
Yeah, that's important for the South Oldham defense. It sends a message to Silver Creek that, hey, like I said, we're here for the fight. You're not just going to be able to bulldoze us all over the field all night. We're going to be able to stand up and get a stop. Now, again, I want to see that South Oldham keep that rhythm going. They had 3 good plays coming into the second half, and let's see if they can keep that momentum going. A little different formation here with 3 in the backfield.
So we've had 2 turnover on downs, one from each team to start the second half. Here is McCubbin. And it's Oliveros. Oliveros able to get across the 35 to the 36 for about a 2-yard gain. Able to step up and make the play on him is Cole Davidson, the senior.
So in film session on Sunday when the South Oldham coaches get together, they're going to be talking about that offensive line finishing blocks, because it looked like, they got to their man and they kind of just stood, as opposed to, driving the sled and getting their feet going and running their man instead of just standing in their way.
On to this different set. Here's McCubbin, and McCubbin drug down from behind, as getting to him was Zach Zimmerman.
That's a better job right there. You see him push the pile. You get 3-4 more yards. I want to see South Oldham trust this ground game right here. This is where they can really make a statement on offense and kind of prove the point back to Silver Creek that, hey, we're big, we can bully too. I want to see them keep the ball on the ground here and prove their point.
3rd and 4 after that nice run by McCubbin of 4 yards. They've got to get to the 44. 3 backs again, but a wide out to the left side. Going to look to throw. Short route, caught at the 46, and Danielson able to get away from a tackle and then down into Silver Creek territory at the 44-yard line. The defensive back that he made miss is once again Joe Lemon, and Lemon is down on the turf one more time, looking at that same leg, the left leg.
Yeah, once you roll it once, it doesn't feel good the rest of the night. Anytime it goes a certain way or it sticks in the ground. So I feel bad for this kid right now. He's trying to play through and tough it out, but it's hard when you roll it a couple times.
A 17-yard gain on the pass play from McGee to Danielson. And it's interesting to me, Coach. I'm watching out of the corner of my eye on these pass plays, but it's almost as if Silver Creek's in a zone and they're giving a good 8 yards to the receivers on the outside.
It's there, man. It's been there all night. It's going to continue to be there all night because South has shown that they'll push the ball down the field. They'll take a shot. So, yeah, Silver Creek's playing a shell. They're telling their DBs to not get beat deep. They're going to give things up in front of them. South Oldham's got to keep taking that, man. It's there. Keep throwing those hitches. They're safe throws. You just can't telegraph them and have somebody jump it. But, if they're there, man, you keep taking what the defense is going to give you.
A third down conversion from South Oldham tonight. That on that last play. They've had a few of those, probably around a 40% clip here in this game, but that one a big one. It gets them into Silver Creek territory at the 43 and a 1st and 10. 4:43 remaining here in the third.
So coming out in what we call a trade look, tight end away, 3 receivers away.
The trips, but they'll hand off to Fleener. No, check that. Ooh. It's not Fleener. It's actually Dalen Graves. Graves, the junior, with a burst of speed up the middle and gets another first down.
Yeah, good run. He took a shot at the end, and he's feeling that a little bit, but good, tough run. Good job from the guys up front, clearing the lane for him. Again, you're spreading. That's the point of the spread offense. You're spreading the field, making the linebackers get out in space and cover, and that's what usually opens up those running lanes, and you're leaning on those big boys. Keep doing it.
Dalen Graves tonight, Coach, 2 carries, 20 yards. He's had a couple of nice runs.
He has.
That one for 12, gets another first down to the 31. One back in the backfield with McGee, and he's going to give it to Acevedo. Acevedo, the little guy, able to duck inside the 30, down to about the 27. Just a little off-tackle play, wasn't it, Coach?
Yeah, hey, but you see big 75 out there, big 77. He's trying to get his team going. I talked about in the first half, Silver Creek had a pancake in the back of the end zone. He just took his guy about 20 yards off the ball and did the same thing to him, and that's what I'm talking about, proving a point. You get back on the ball and you do the same exact thing every play.
3-yard gain by Acevedo. Man in motion is McCubbin, and they'll give it to him to the right side. He ducks back to the inside, across the 25, down to the 22. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. Let's see where they spot him. They may give it to him. No, about a half yard away at the 22-yard line. Nice run that time.
Yeah, he looks like he's coming up a little gimpy, walking back to the huddle there. I don't know if that's just his natural walk, but he looks like he's moving a little bit tender. So we'll have to see how he finishes this drive.
3rd and less than a yard. And they'll give it to Acevedo. He'll duck back into the inside after starting to the outside. And inside the 20, it's red zone time for the South Oldham Dragons.
So here you go, little reverse situation right now. South Oldham really putting the pressure on the Silver Creek defense, running the football, challenging them between the tackles, which again sends that message that, you know, hey, we can run the ball on you too. You're not the biggest guys on the field.
5-yard gain by Acevedo. It is 1st and 10 from the 17 of Silver Creek. Hitch. To throw, little hitch pattern to the outside is caught. Nice move, touchdown.
Wow.
The catch made by Acevedo, I believe. I'll have to wait to see. That may be Connor Hayden. And it is Connor Hayden, number 28, the senior, 5'10", 174 wide receiver, just caught a 17-yard pass from McGee.
I like the little stutter step there, showing a little athleticism, keeping that cornerback off his balance. Now that's they attacked right where they had the injury from, right? The kid that
that's exactly right.
Rolled his ankle, so you go at the backup corner who maybe's not as sure of a tackler, and so you know that's what you do as a play caller right there. Good little stutter step move, and getting in the end zone. We're going for 2, and we're going to try to tie this game up right now.
From the missed extra point in the first half, you're almost forced into going for it here. 14-12 your score. They'll bring in the play. McCubbin is in the backfield. McGee has another back with him. That's Fleener, and a wing set to the right side. Strong side right. They're going to go McCubbin all the way, and he's in. It is a 2-point conversion that is good for South Oldham, and they have tied it up with 2:44 to play here in the third quarter. We're back in 1 minute here on Glycod.com.
Summer's here. That puts a lot of strain on your air conditioner. Are you ready? Call Thompson Heating and Cooling today for an HVAC checkup. Because the last time you want to find out your air conditioner isn't working is when you really need it. At Thompson, we offer a 2-hour appointment window, so you won't be kept waiting all day. We're fully stocked and prepared, and 90% of our calls are repaired that day. And as always, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call us today for express service.
You're tuned in to Oldham High School's football on Glycod.
2:44 to play in the third. It was a 17-yard touchdown pass, the first of the season for Devlin McGee, the quarterback. So obviously the first touchdown catch of the year for Connor Hayden. The two-point conversion was good on a McCubbin run, and we're all knotted up at 14. We started this half, Coach, with teams going for it on fourth down. Both failed, and then a nice little 59-yard run or drive by South Oldham ties it up on the board.
Yeah, that's going to do big things for this South Oldham offense. For Coach Reed as a play caller, for those linemen up front, for those skill guys out wide. That's gonna give them a lot of confidence moving forward through the rest of the season as a drive you can point to and say, hey guys, look what we can do.
Shane takes the kickoff, and he's going to get to the outside. Nice return, good speed into the territory of South Oldham, and he goes down at the 35-yard line. He took it on the run at the 15, a short kickoff, and he had another gear going when he already had the football.
Yeah, man, I can't imagine that's where he was supposed to kick the football. I don't know why you'd put it in their best player's hands there. So it could have been a missed kick, or just trying to trust their coverage to get down and make a play. But again, this is where I'm a proponent of the onside kick. That doesn't happen. They're getting the ball at the 45.
I had a feeling you might bring that up.
Hey.
35-yard line, short field here in South Oldham territory for Silver Creek, and they go full house pretty much again. The wing over to the right side and Shane, or make that left side.
Ooh,
and Mays caught in the backfield, dropped for a loss. Who was that? Lally finished it off, but who was it that caught him first?
51.
And Lally, that was the one that 57 getting in there. That's Toby Cercone.
There you go. Hey, getting Silver Creek behind the chains right here, right? They're making them think about what they got to do. So you got to hold them. You got to hold them here and not give them a big chunk play on second down, and then you're winning this drive early.
Jacob Johnston involved in that as well. 2-yard loss on the run by Mays. They put Shane back. And no, they actually put Powell back in there, and Powell's going to get the edge. And he's going to get inside the 30 down to the 22. They were able to pitch to a different back, Katie Powell, very fresh. He had a couple of carries in the first quarter. But since then, very quiet. And there he gets a big gain and a first down. And are they going to add to it, Coach?
I believe so. We got a little John after the play. This is one of those things that could be offsetting. It could be both kids. But sometimes the second personal foul is who they call it on.
Unsportsmanlike against South Oldham, and that's going to be the only one. So add another. They'll go half the distance here, down to the 11.
Yeah, as a coach, these are frustrating. These are things that you drill into your kids week in and week out of you can't respond, you got to keep your head, you got to play disciplined. And especially after a big play like that, you have all the momentum in the world after that drive. And I'll give credit to the Silver Creek player if he held his water and held his mouth and held his tongue, and it truly was just on the South Oldham player. That's great discipline by the Silver Creek team.
It was a 15-yard run by Powell that got the first down, then the penalty of 11, half the distance to the 11-yard line. Here's the snap. Lacey will give it to Mays, and he's hit early. Another nice defensive play by South Oldham.
They're playing tough, man, and you know what? Mays, he's not running as hard as he was in the first half. It doesn't look like he, going both ways, playing that Mike linebacker position. Maybe that's why they wanted to get Shane some more touches to keep him fresh. But he did take a shot on that big run. South Oldham's linebacker got downhill and put a lick on him. So again, something you're telling your kids is, hey, it's better to be the hitter and not the hittee.
Hayden and Johnston combine on the tackle. Second down, they give him a yard on the play. This time they pitch to Powell. He tries the right side, and he's met with resistance after he got inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 7. Getting in on that tackle for South Oldham was D.J. Jacobs, the freshman.
I like the way South Oldham's getting downhill right now. They're playing with energy on defense. They're gang tackling, which is what you got to do. But, Silver Creek's in a good position right here. 3rd and 7. They can still get a first down before they get into the end zone. South Oldham, and then we're in 4-down territory. They're going to go for it here. I don't think they're going to kick a field goal, but could be wrong. They're going to get one play here before the quarter's over.
Powell goes out, Hoffman back in. It's Mays at the back of the eye. They'll pitch to him left side. He's going to get strung out, and he was able to get away from one tackle, not the second. Dropped him for a loss. Back to the 13.
That's a drill right there. That's the swarm drill showing up on tape. That's what you teach in practice every week, week in and week out. That was part of our Tuesday routine when I was coaching. That's something you rep defensively every week. Get to the football.
Quarter is over. We move to the fourth and final frame, and a fourth down looming for Silver Creek from the South Oldham 11. Back in a moment on Glycod.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Brian Morrison in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville. You're tuned in to Oldham High School's football on Glycod.
We begin the fourth quarter tied up at 14. Here's the situation. It's fourth down and 10 from the 11-yard line of South Oldham. Silver Creek with the football, and an interesting call coming up here for Dave Pappenhouse and his staff.
Offense is on the field, so they're going for it. We'll see what they think here. 10-yard gainer. What's in their playbook to pick up this chunk? You got to think they got to put the ball in the air, maybe try to find Shane on a screen pass or something that way.
Shane is up ahead of Mays. They may try direct snap to Shane
He's
here.
that quarterback,
do.
Yep.
They're going to give it to Shane. He's going to try to get to the outside. He's hit once. Second goes in. Did he get pushed out of bounds? He
Touchdown.
did. No, touchdown Shane. Wow. What a run by Trey Shane for his second touchdown of the game. Jumping in from 11 yards away.
Yeah, good play coming out of a timeout again. That's kind of why you do that. Set something up they haven't seen before. With a direct snap. I didn't like the refs missed, I think, some taunting there at the end. I don't think there's a place for that, but I'll put that one in my pocket.
Second touchdown run of the night for Shane. That's his fifth of the season on the ground. And here's Troutman to kick the extra point. It is up, and it is through, and it is good. And retaking the lead, they've never trailed in this game, Silver Creek High School, from across the river in Hoosier land.
We got a battle, man. We got a battle, but a good thing, again, South has that confidence-boosting drive, there to tie the game up. So they're feeling good about themselves. I still don't think that they're stressed all that much. You got plenty of time here to get two scores and win the game. And I've seen South Oldham in this situation many a times, both when I was on their sideline and when I was across from them. Of course, we were playing them last year. It was 28-21 when we were playing them, and in the fourth quarter they took off and ran away from us. So they do have that capability.
That's the first play of the fourth quarter, that touchdown run, and then the extra point. I do want to mention just quickly here, Carly Troutman, field goal kicker for the Silver Creek Dragons. Last week, just 1 of 3 on extra point attempts, and you think about a young football player, never mind the fact that it's a girl that's playing and kicking those extra points. You can get down on yourself. Tonight comes in 3 for 3, so a big boost of confidence.
Yeah, shows some mental toughness on her part. And I love the fact that we see some females out here on Friday nights.
Absolutely.
It's happening across the state. I've seen it, Franklin County's had a few females get out. I've had some girls approach me about playing. I love the fact that they take an interest, and now we're seeing some female coaches across the board on Saturdays and Sundays.
Blues kickoff taken at the 16-yard line. This is, I believe, Acevedo. No, it's Oliveros, and Oliveros able to get up across the 40 to the 43. Nice return by Luke Oliveros.
They're going to start with some good field position here. Let's see if they come out and try more of the same from their last offensive series.
Coach don't like that. Saw the fullback Maddox Fleener, come up limping after the scrum, the tackle at the end of that play. He has been a big part of the South Oldham offense. He cannot be lame now for Coach Jamie Reed.
Yeah, he's had some good runs. Hopefully he stays. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him and can get back in there.
From the 43, McGee shotgun snap, runs a little bit of an option look and keeps the football ahead of the 45 to the 47. And a nice 5-yard run here by McGee to start the drive.
So second called quarterback run, and both times really positive plays. Again, I think something that South Oldham can continue to work in their playbook the rest of the game to get him some touches on the ground.
And RPO is becoming a part of everybody's playbook these days. And he's going to do it again, opposite side, right side, just split the defenders and gets a big run inside the 40-yard line down to the 35. Finally putting the hit on him to put him down was Shane, but not before McGee just split the defenders and went right up the field.
Yeah, man, he's slick. He reminds me so much of his brother who I coached when I was at South Oldham, Michael McGee. He runs so much the same way, those long, smooth strides, and he's deceptively shifty and deceptively fast because he's so lean and so smooth in those movements.
The run goes for 11 yards, down to the 36. Make it 16 yards. Check that. This time they're going to give it to Dalen. Dalen Graves, and Graves gets a nice positive gain inside the 30 to the 29. Just run to the left tackle side, Coach, and then busted that out.
Man, this game's heating up a little bit with some momentum and some big plays. I wonder how tired some guys are getting right now. It's been really hot lately. I know some teams haven't been able to get out on the field as much as they normally have in the last couple weeks. So we'll see how the conditioning shows up here in the late stages of the game.
Look at this, 2 wide, a right and 1 left, and to throw, McGee got a man over the top, overthrew the intended receiver, incomplete. It was McCubbin who had just a step on the defender down at the 5-yard line.
Good play call. Good play call off of those two. Again, kind of that rhythm thing where you've ran that play a couple times where McGee has kept it, and then you turn it into a form of play action to suck those backers up and suck those safeties up, and he had him and he just missed him.
It was not McCubbin. It was Rylan Varner. Varner, a junior wide receiver. Not seen him in very much tonight, just could not catch up to that one.
Good spot to take a shot, though.
3rd and 3, have to get to the 26. McGee to throws, hitch, and catches it. Danielson, that is the 3rd catch of the night for Danielson, and it's a first down to the 21.
Yeah, those are there. I mean, they're going to continue.
We talked about it.
They're going to continue to give him that hitch route, and on those, I think that's why he took that shot on 2nd down, because he knew he could come back and get that clean hitch on 3rd.
So now to the 21, knocking on the door of the red zone, 1st and 10. Again, South Oldham set up with really good field position on the kickoff return at the 43 on their own side. And a good 6 plays later, they're into the enemy territory and near the red zone. Here's a throw, middle of the field.
Nice
Caught
catch.
by Danielson. Danielson to the 5 and down to the 3-yard line. Tackled finally by Cullen Garlock, a freshman linebacker, but not before Danielson with his 4th catch of the night gets to the 3, 18 yards.
What a snag, man. The ball's a little high right outside the strike zone there, but he snatched it, caught it in stride, got his offensive line out in front of him, made a good move and got upfield. That's a play that's been in Coach Reed's playbook even when he was running the flex bone stuff. That's something that they've been running here for a long time.
Trimble comes out. They go with the bigger player in Johnston at tight end. And they get a little bunched up here with 3 backs in the backfield. Snap of the hands. McGee turns and ran into his own ball carrier in Graves. He may have gotten a yard down to the 2.
I was going to say maybe it looked like a little miscommunication. Ball should have gone right. McGee thought left. But, hey, you're this close. That doesn't hurt you all that bad. You get a play in the books. You showed them something. They may come back and try to do the same thing and just bully football right here.
2nd and goal. We're at 8:35 to go in the game, 21-14, but South Oldham trying to get closer here. Snap. Handoff, McCubbin, and McCubbin may have gotten close to the goal line. He is right inside the 1-yard line and could not poke his head in there and lost his helmet, as a matter of fact.
He's got to come out, so they got to replace him. Good play by that safety. He looked like he was walking in, and that safety came down and delivered a blow, turned those shoulder pads sideways, and kept him out of the end zone. Big play right here.
Oliveros comes in for him, 3rd and goal from inside the 1-yard line. It's Oliveros and Graves in the backfield. And it's McGee, calls his own number, and he...
Short.
I don't know. They're going to say short of the goal line. Still no signal. And it'll be 4th down. There's the hand going up. 4th down and still inside the 1. McGee looked late in making that break.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a called run for him, or if he just thought, like you said, he kind of called his number and took it. With his length, you think maybe you'd leave your feet and just try to break the plane with it. We got the crowd riled up right now. This is a big play. Everybody's loving it.
McCubbin back in, Oliveros out. It's Graves and McCubbin. Tight formation with a wing to the right side. Timeout called, I believe, by Silver Creek.
Yep.
It is. Timeout Silver Creek with 7:31 left to go in the game. 21-14 is the score. We're back momentarily here on Glycod.com.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're tuned in to Oldham High School's football on Glycod.
Doesn't get much better than this. A 4th down and goal to go inside the 1. Trailing by 7 is South Oldham with the football. 7:31 to go in the game. Fairly imperative to put it into the end zone in this juncture of the game. The quarterback, McGee, will lead his troops out. It looks to be Fleener back in now, who went out hobbling earlier, and McCubbin in the backfield. The wing is Acevedo off to the left side. Tight end Johnston. They move him now to the right. McGee slaps the hand, snap, handoff. McCubbin jumps over. Touchdown, South Oldham!
Great job on both sides, really. I thought the timeout that Silver Creek called was perfectly timed. You see what South Oldham's coming out, get their formation, decide what you want to do. Great play call by South Oldham to get the ball into the end zone. Good athletic play. It looked like maybe Silver Creek was trying to go low to just cause a pile. So good athleticism there shown by the running back to get over top and get into the end zone. Looks like we got a cramp going right now.
It's the 2nd rushing touchdown of the game and of the season for McCubbin. The extra point attempt, we'll see what South Oldham and Jimmy Reed wants to do here.
So while we got some time, I got some updates from the schools around the county. So North Oldham's in a tough game with Great Crossing. North Oldham 7, Great Crossing 8 at halftime. So my former squad hanging tough there. Oldham County is pulling away from Shelby County, 35-6 right now. 2 minutes left to go in the first half there.
I think they've had a delay in that one at some point.
Both those games started at 8 o'clock, so that's why it seems like our game's moving a little bit faster. Although we are moving fast because we're running the football a lot over here.
Let's see now. Somebody coming onto the field very late for South Oldham. It's the freshman DJ Jacobs. But it looks as if they will kick the extra point. It'll be Sam Reagan, the junior, to try and tie the game.
That's the different kicker. It's not the kicker that kicked the first one.
And that one went up and through. There was no doubt about it. Good strong leg by Reagan. And that'll tie it again at 21.
We got ourselves a ball game.
So they go to Reagan to kick the extra point on that one. He able to put it through. Tied at 21. 7:28 to play. The way that Silver Creek's offense runs here, Coach, I hate to use the dirty O word, but it could very well be an overtime night for us here.
Yeah, I was thinking this game is one of those games that's going to come down to who has the ball last. So whoever has their hands on it when time is running out, I think is going to be the team that's going to pull away. So about 7.5 left. Again, if you're South Oldham, you got all the momentum on offense right now. You got to stop last time. So you really, really are pleading and begging with your defense like, hey, man, we got to get a stop. Let's get that ball out. Backers keep getting downhill. Safeties be disciplined. Expect a play action pass at some point. And if you're Silver Creek, you're confident. You're confident. You move the ball. You've had good plays. You got solid playmakers. So just kind of like I said at halftime, they're just going to keep doing what they've been doing all game long. It hasn't been sexy at times, but they are confident in what they do and they're moving it.
There's no way Reagan kicks this to Shane. Right? I mean, come on, Coach.
Should I say the other O word, onside kick?
Let's see what happens. Reagan approaches, kicks the football. He does go deep, and it will be Shane from the 8. And he fell down! He fell down at the 10. They'll give him the 11, but how about that?
Hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good right there, and South Oldham caught a break, I think, and, Silver Creek's got a long way to go. Again, you hear the stands. This is where that home field advantage kind of takes place. Parents, fans, good student section over here to our left. It's going to be rocking here the last 7.5 minutes.
It's an official 3-yard return to the 11, but they'll have to go 89 to take the lead, or maybe a bit shorter with their field goal kicker. It definitely has a little bit of range.
So you just got to be disciplined here. The last thing you want to do is give up a big play, keep everything in front of you. Backers have been doing a good job getting downhill, but you want to know who's where, right? Who's going to touch the ball here? Looks like we got a late player running on. Who's in the backfield right now? We're going direct snap.
It's Hoffman, Hayes, Mays, and Shane. Yep. Shane direct snap, heads to the right. He'll stretch it, get the edge, and he'll get some running room. 20, 25, finally taken down near the 30-yard line.
Okay, so they like that Wildcat look. The Dolphins made that famous with Cadillac Williams and Ricky Williams back in the day. But, take the quarterback out of it and just put the ball in your best player's hands and let him make a play. So now I see the South Oldham defensive coordinator, they're trying to make some adjustments to this and see how fastly they can get something drawn up there or something called to counteract this.
They say Shane stepped out at the 26, so it's a 15-yard gain. And they start again with a new set of downs, 1st and 10. Pitch. They brought the quarterback back in, and he's caught in the backfield.
Great
they
play.
Went to Mays, and Mays is caught. And who was it? Fowler able to make the tackle.
Great play. Way to knife between the two blocks. He split the wing and the fullback, made him cut back, and ends up making the play himself. That's called doing it all right there. So great play by him. Puts him behind the sticks. On 2nd down.
Loss of 3 all the way back to the 23-yard line. Big defensive play there by South Oldham. And they have loaded the box. 10 guys in the box right now.
And shotgun.
Shotgun with the quarterback, Lacey. He'll turn, throw it to the outside. It was a lateral, but not able to get upfield as Shane has his legs cut out from underneath of him at the 24. Give him about a yard, but it's going to bring up 3rd and 12, and a huge defensive play there for South Oldham.
Yeah, South is, I feel like, maybe getting them out of their comfort zone a little bit. You've seen the Wildcat. You've seen the shotgun screen play. I said in the first half that they really didn't do anything to make Silver Creek uncomfortable, but I'm changing my tune right now because I feel like Silver Creek's getting a little uncomfortable right now.
Hoffman in, Powell out. Mays dots he's behind in a pistol look here. And in motion is Shane. They don't give it to him. They go to Mays instead, and he will not get the first down. He is taken down at the 24, which was basically the line of scrimmage.
Great stop, man. That is an awesome set. That's an awesome 2 series from South Oldham offense, South Oldham defense. That's exactly, if you could write a book, that's exactly what you'd want to do late in the game to get your hands back on the football with a chance to win it.
Elijah Lally on the tackle. He's had a monster game tonight. Punt formation here for Silver Creek as they'll bring the punter in. It's Ben Blues, the freshman who also plays right guard. He'll back up and punt. 4th and 12 from their own 24, standing at the 50-yard line. I believe that is McCubbin out there. We'll double check and make sure.
Lally has been tough, man.
Good punt, but short. It's Oliveros at the 44. Away from 1, gets away from 2, gets upfield and gets into Silver Creek territory at the 47-yard line. It's a return of 7 yards.
Great field position. You sense the momentum. You know where it is right now. Again, South Oldham with those big boys up front. You got to lean on them right here. I think you got the hitches open if you need it. I feel like South Oldham has a really good feel for how this game is being played right now, and I feel like Coach Reed is being comfortable as a play caller, and I expect this drive right here to end in points.
4:41 to play. I'll start giving you time updates after each play now. 21 all. South Oldham has 3 timeouts remaining. Silver Creek with just 1. 1st and 10 from the 46 of Silver Creek. Handoff up the middle. McCubbin goes to the right side, cuts it to the outside, down to the 35, and a big gain by McCubbin. Jack McCubbin, the running back, who's had a big second half and 2 rushing touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, good run. That's a good athletic play. I mean, that's straight dive, straight ISO, whatever you want to call it. Bounces it out, gets the whole defense sucked in, and turns it into a nice gain right there.
11 yards, as a matter of fact, Coach. 1st and 10 from the 35 now of Silver Creek. 4:22 and counting left to go in the game. South Oldham tied up 21 all with Silver Creek. They trailed 14-0 in the second quarter. Snap of the hands. McGee gets it. Will give it to the fullback, and that is Graves bursting forward to the 31.
So here's an interesting little dynamic.
Oh, check that. It was Fleener. I apologize, Coach.
Here's a little interesting dynamic to get inside the mind of a coach. You got 4 minutes left. You're in great field position. You're confident that you're going to get points here. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to score too quickly. You want to keep the ball, even though Silver Creek's not necessarily a quick strike team. I think 3 points here might win the game, but you definitely gotta manage the clock here.
2nd and 6 after the 4-yard run by Fleener. Fleener is still in there. He is offset from the quarterback. They're going to throw. McGee gets pressure, able to get away from it, and he'll go down. He slides down at the 36, so they're going to lose 5 yards on the play, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 11. That's a bad loss there.
Yeah, they were looking for those hitch routes, and I was looking at it right before the play. Silver Creek moves their corners up a little bit, so it throws McGee's rhythm off. He didn't like it. It ends up just taking the loss instead of doing something to lose the football there. So, Silver Creek showing something a little bit different, not giving them quite as much cushion, at least to the short side. We got some space down here.
2:50 left to play. They're going to throw it deep. It is Trimble, and it's knocked away. And the defensive back making the play is Gary Collette. Collette, Jr., went right up with Trimble and made sure he couldn't get his hands on it.
Hey, good play. That's a 50-50 ball. Who's better right there? If I'm the wide receiver coach, I'm telling you got to go up and get that, man. Pluck that out of the air. But great job by the Silver Creek defensive back, being right in his hip pocket. Played that pretty textbook. Knocked the ball down. We're in a 4th down situation, and here, this is go time right now.
4th and 11 from the 36 of Silver Creek. The clock is stopped after the incompletion with 2:44 left to go.
So if we're going to throw the ball, I'm thinking the quarterback's getting on the edge. He's going to roll out. If we're going to run the ball, it's going to be something outside the tackles.
McCubbin and Oliveros. Check that Fleener in the backfield. McGee fakes the handoff, trying to get to the outside, throws it down the field, and it's incomplete. And it'll be a turnover on downs, and Silver Creek will get the football back with 2:38.
We got a flag on the far side of the field. That ref all the way away from the play. I don't know if he might call intentional grounding on this. That's kind of what I was thinking. There's no such thing as a tackle box in high school football.
But they did have a receiver down there, Coach.
He did, an eligible receiver downfield.
That's
so they had
the problem, yeah. Play took so long to develop that somebody got outside of that 3-yard window.
Yeah, so we'll decline this, and Silver Creek's going to take the ball again. Who's going to have it last right now? So we got a good little battle going here in the 4th quarter.
2:38 to play. Turnover on downs. And Silver Creek will get it back after they hold South Oldham in their territory.
Okay,
Big defensive stop there.
So now if I'm Silver Creek, I'm comfortable. You got to stay ahead of the chains. Get back to what you were doing early in the first half. You got plenty of time. 2.5 minutes, you can run this ball all the way down the field for a score here. You don't have to do anything, tricky or anything like that outside your comfort zone. Get back to what you were doing.
Hoffman, Mays, and Shane are the running backs. No wideouts. Pitch to Shane, able to get through a small crack in the defensive line and get into the secondary. They'll take him down at the 47-yard line. It's an 11-yard gain. And the clock stops with the movement of the chains, but will start back up again once they get set.
So there you go. That's back to their bread and butter. That's that power toss right there, putting the ball in Shane's hands and letting him control this game.
Lacey will pitch it again. Shane, right side. This time, no running room. Maybe a yard to the 48, and that is all.
Yeah, much better job by South Oldham defense getting downhill, shutting that down.
Oliveros came up.
Making a play right there. This is where you live right here. If you're a defensive coach, if you're a defensive player, I want to be on the field right now. I want to make the play, the impact hit, get that ball out, maybe scoop and score and win it yourself right here.
1:53 and counting, 2nd and 9. They will turn. And it's the flea flicker, and the pass downfield to Shane is knocked away! And a flag comes in.
Yeah, they're not happy about it here, but that's textbook pass interference in high school football. You got to turn around. You got to find the ball.
Nathan Hale was the defensive back. He took the hand that knocked the ball away, but, Coach, you're right. He never got his head around.
No, never got his head around, just jumped up and guarded the eyes and tried to be a block. Not a bad play. I mean, I would always tell my guys, if you're going to get beat, you might as well take the 15 yards over a touchdown.
Pass interference against South Oldham.
I didn't see a whole lot of contact there, but again, you can't face guard in high school. You got to get your head around and play the ball.
This officiating crew may need an escort to get out of here tonight after that call.
We're not happy about it, are they?
1:43, and Jamie Reed signaling he wants a timeout.
Yeah, he's not happy.
He's going to let these officials hear about it a little bit longer.
He wants an explanation, and I totally understand that. When you get a call this pivotal in the game, as a head coach, you deserve. I've always felt like I deserve an explanation for why that call was made, what they saw, what they were looking at, and you're never going to change their mind, right? But at least have a chance to plead your case.
15 yards on the penalty will take it down to the 37 of South Oldham. 1st and 10 on the call for Silver Creek. They still have one timeout. South Oldham just used their first one of the second half, so they have 2 remaining. 1:43 left to go on the clock.
Yeah, I'm on Coach Reed's side here. I always feel like, penalties should call themselves in high school sports, especially late in the game right now. I'm always a fan of just let them play, man. Don't show up and dictate the game. I lost the game like that, and it was a heartbreaker. My second year at North Oldham, we were playing Shelby County. We had the game won, got called back by a block in the back, 40 yards behind the play. And was it the right call? Probably. Was it need to be called? I don't know. But, I think let them play.
They're going to let them play here. 1st and 10 from the 37 of South Oldham. Shane in the backfield. Mays is the rear back. They'll pitch to Mays.
Ball.
They fumbled the football, and he was able to fall on it. Mays able to come back. Lally was right there to keep him honest, but Mays able to fall on it. And now Mays is hurt. Mays is still down on the turf at the 45-yard line. The loss goes for 8. The pitch just was not clean. And it'll be 2nd and 18, but Mays now down on the turf, and he was grabbing at the back of that left leg after he had to stop on a dime and come back and fall on the football. 1:29 left to go on the clock now, and behind the sticks, the Silver Creek offense, and this does not look good for one of their key backs in the running backfield.
Yeah, he got landed on. I wonder if he got a little dead leg or something. I hate to see players down on the field, especially when they look like they're in pain. I have been in that situation before, and sometimes your mind gets the best of you in those situations when you're feeling that pain. It looks like he's popping up here pretty quickly. I will say, that's one of those old basketball, adages right there where you fumble. If I'm a coach, I'm saying ball doesn't lie, right? Was that really a penalty? You want to play the next play, but you take that shot and you miss it, and ball doesn't lie right there. So maybe not a penalty on the previous play.
Mays, I would assume, Coach, the way he's limping off the field, I will bet he got rolled up on.
Yeah, he looks hurt, man. He doesn't look like he's moving well, and that's a big blow for this Silver Creek team. Even if he's not touching the ball, he's a heck of a blocker.
I think we may see the Wildcat. No, Shane is a wideout to the right side. McGee in a shotgun. Powell and Hoffman in the backfield. 2nd and 17. Throw, Shane to the outside, caught and dropped. Good open field tackle, and it's Hale, Nathan Hale, the man that got called for the pass interference that got over there and made a nice open field tackle. Clock running, 1:05 now and counting to play, and it's 3rd after a 2-yard gain on the pass play, 3rd and 16.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now maybe let's just not give South Oldham the ball back with it. Try to prevent as much time as possible. Coach Reed's calling a timeout. He kind of sensed that. I think you're right. This game could be heading for overtime unless we get a big play here in the last 50 seconds of the game.
And the timeout comes with 56.3 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 17. They call it 17. I'm looking more at 16 here. Coming up for Silver Creek. They're at the 43-yard line of South Oldham. They got a huge play on a pass interference call on Nathan Hale of South Oldham. Got into South Oldham territory. And then a pitch play that resulted in a fumbled pitch. Put them behind the sticks on a good 8-yard loss on the play. And now you're looking at 3rd and 17. Coming up for the Dragons.
If you're Silver Creek, I think you run the ball, you make South Oldham use a timeout, so that way you punt it, you make them drive a long way. I don't think they're built for something like this to come up with a 17-yard pass play. They're going to keep it on the ground and make South use a timeout.
Go for another pass interference call, possibly.
Maybe. I just think again you risk that your 3rd turnover of the game.
Well, they line up in a tight set and are going to pitch to Shane. He'll go to the right side, hop one tackle, get taken down at the 40. The freshman DJ Jacobs with a really nice tackle over there. That gator roll on the ankles, as you talked about a little bit earlier. And the timeout called by Jamie Reed with 42.4 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it looked like maybe it was more 45 seconds than 42 seconds when that timeout was called. I wonder if they'll ask for some time to be put back in the clock. I would if I was on the field, but the refs got to see it in order for that to happen.
It's coming up 4th and 14. Silver Creek could possibly keep the offense on the field, knowing that there's very few seconds left on the clock. May try to go for it on 4th down. It's a long way to go, but a punt would not make if it goes into the end zone, they would not make a whole lot of net gain there, would they?
Yeah, if there was more like 15 seconds on the clock, you could do one of those, you could just snap the ball and maybe run around for a little bit, but with this much time, I think you punt it. South Oldham's going to come for the block, I would imagine, and see if they can steal some field position here. So, you
go pooch kick, possibly?
Yeah, pooch kick it to the sideline. Don't give them a chance to return. Not a whole lot of time's going to run off the clock anyway. If you were a rugby punt team here, you could run a little bit more time off the clock, but you're right, their offense is on the field.
Yep, they're going for it. Power I. Going to throw down the middle of the field, going for Shane. It is incomplete. A great play by the defensive back for South Oldham, and it's going to be I believe Sam Reagan.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can't.
Oliveros, check that.
You can't knock the play call there. It's a. Sorry, I got distracted. Somebody from the student section just chucked a can of Coke on the field, so God, that caught my eye as a teacher.
You're trying to find out who it is.
I was about to take the headset off and walk over there.
I don't want to get in detention, Coach.
Yeah, hey, somebody's might get suspended. They find out who that was.
21 all, 36.4 seconds left. South Oldham gets the football back, and they're at their own 41-yard line. No timeouts. Silver Creek does have one remaining. McGee goes to the shotgun.
See what this pass game is about right now.
He's going to roll to the right side. He's going to throw to the sideline. Complete to
Get out of bounds.
Danielson gets away from a tackle and gets tackled at the 39-yard line. The clock will stop because the sticks have to be moved. It is a first down, but he gets into Silver Creek territory at the 39. 26.7 seconds remaining. They'll get set.
Great first play. They're going to snap.
And they wind the clock, and he'll throw it down to the ground for an incomplete pass.
The ref
will stop the clock with 20.1 seconds left.
He was adamantly waving the clock
his arm
on.
Going.
He
yeah,
was.
You're right.
I mean, you got to wait for the chains to get set, though. I always thought so. Maybe that's not something they have to do anymore. But he was wanting that clock to keep moving.
Ball just outside of the 39-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10 after the intentional down on the pass play.
We haven't seen any field goals yet this game, so I'm not really sure where the range is going to have to be. The kid that kicked the last extra point, like you said, there was no doubt on his extra point, but pressure situation in a field goal, I would say you want to get at least to the 20-yard line, maybe the 15 to attempt a field goal in this situation for somebody that hasn't had a lot of experience making those kicks.
2nd and 10 from the 30, just outside of the 39. McGee is going to roll to the left side, throw to the sideline. It's complete, and then out of bounds. I believe he got the first down, stretching the football out. That was Connor Hayden.
Yeah, they're giving it up, man. They are giving that. That cornerback is bailing hard, which he has to because he's got a deep route. So in that cover 3, he's got to take the deep man. Those backers have a long run to get out to those hitches, but again, 13 seconds. You're really playing the clock right here and not the field position. But, I imagine Coach Reed's going to call the same play back to this side, maybe get another 10, 15 yards.
They say he stepped out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Okay.
So it's not a first down. It's 3rd and 3. And the clock stopped when he stepped out of bounds with 13.3 seconds. McGee, the snap. Does not roll, going to throw deep down the field. He's looking for Danielson, and he caught it! He caught it! At the 2-yard line! The clock stops for the Sticks. They have to set. They'll intentionally down the pass. The Sticks have to come down. The yard marker at the 2, it's 1st and goal, and the official blows his whistle. They have to get set. 5 seconds left, and he downs the football. Incomplete pass with 3.8 seconds left to go.
That's awesome.
What a pass play by Danielson to catch that. He got in front of the defensive back, got position, and got the pass.
Boxed him out, man. He boxed him out. He put his body to his body. He went up. I wanted the ball more than you do. That was a great catch by that receiver.
It'll be Sam Reagan.
They're going to take the field goal.
Kick the field goal and try to win this game. He's on the outside near hash mark. Has to kick this back to the middle of the field in a timeout. Silver Creek wants
got it. He called a timeout.
Silver Creek called the timeout. They want to ice the kicker. It was no good. Timeout was called. Before the snap.
He did make that, though. He did put that through, but way before the snap happened, you saw the ref in the back of the end zone waving his hands. There was a clear timeout before the kick.
Reagan has not kicked a field goal this season. He was 0 for 1 in week 1 on extra points. He's kicked one here tonight to tie the game at 21. And this one is basically a glorified extra point. It'll be a 19-yard field goal to win the game, and obviously the most pressure that Sam Reagan has ever felt in his life.
Yeah, I heard him before the game when I was down there talking to Coach Reed. He wasn't even sure he could kick tonight. He said something to Coach, and that's why he didn't kick that first extra point. But he looked confident. That looked like a smooth stroke there. Seems like a gamer. He's going to put this through.
They're trying to get the clock right as the time ran off. They want 3.8 seconds left.
Well, they've really iced him here now. I mean, that was a perfectly timed timeout.
Trying to get the clock situated. So we'll try to keep our heads here. No timeouts remaining for either side. 3.8 seconds. 21-21 is the score. And Sam Reagan will try to kick a 19 to 20-yard field goal to try and win this game.
I think they're just going to settle with 3 seconds and instead of trying to get the 3.8 up there. The ref doesn't look happy. He doesn't look satisfied with that. So
no, they're trying to get 3.8, and there they have it.
All
and
right.
we have our situation here. South Oldham with a chance to win the game.
Now you can't hit the snapper and you can't jump over the line of scrimmage. Those are two rules in high school football.
A 19-yarder to win for South Oldham. The snap, the kick.
Got it.
He got it. It was not pretty. It was not pretty.
We're going to get a kickoff. Oh, no, they ran it off. Okay.
It was not pretty.
What a game.
It went through, and Sam Reagan connects from 19 yards away.
What a game.
And South Oldham will win this football game here tonight, 24-21.
That's a big win. That's a gutsy win, man. Props to the South Oldham Dragons. Great game by the Silver Creek Dragons. That's a tough team over there. They're going to win a lot of football games this year and compete in their district, in their region. That's a good football team, but a great gutsy win by the South Oldham Dragons here at home.
Students come onto the field as teams shake hands. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap things up from here in Crestwood on Glycod.com.
That puts a lot of strain on your air conditioner. Are you ready? Call Thompson Heating and Cooling today for an HVAC checkup. Because the last time you want to find out your air conditioner isn't working is when you really need it. At Thompson, we offer a 2-hour appointment window, so you won't be kept waiting all day. We're fully stocked and prepared, and 90% of our calls are repaired that day. And as always, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call us today for express service.
Want to replace your old, rotted, and drafty windows? What would your house look like with the newest and high-quality windows on the market? With just one call to Metro Windows, you can choose from a great selection of aluminum-clad, vinyl, and rot-free windows at an affordable price. And Metro Windows can also replace just the glass and failed windows, too. Their installers are Oldham County residents that take pride in their work and craftsmanship. Metro Windows has been locally owned for over 30 years and is the proud carrier of the Windsor window line. Give Metro Windows a call today at 222-7828. That's 222-7828 Metro Windows.
Crestwood Coin Laundry, Oldham County's leading laundromat for over 25 years. Located at 6520 West Highway 146, Crestwood Coin Laundry offers state-of-the-art facilities in a clean, inviting atmosphere. You can wash and dry clothes yourself, or you can drop off your clothes in the morning and have them back clean, dry, and folded that afternoon. Their extra-large washers are perfect for comforters and large items, and all larger machines accept credit cards. They're open at 8 on weekdays and 7 on weekends for your convenience. Stop in or visit them online, CrestwoodCoinLaundryKY.com.
Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Colossians 3:23. Stinnett Plumbing, proudly serving Oldham County with a complete array of services from faucet fixes to bathroom renovations. Locally owned, built on integrity, and committed to bringing exceptional quality work to you. On call 24 hours a day for emergency repairs. Phone 502-690-3070. Stinnett Plumbing.
Welcome to WDRB Home Design here at Watts Home Center. We're talking paint colors today. Tommy, what are the hottest colors this season?
The hottest colors are gray. Grays are trending. You also have taupes, off-white. Benjamin Moore has over 4,000 colors, so we can find something that you like.
So if I wanted to color match my shirt, you could do it?
I can do it. We take our little color spectrometer here. It will take a picture of your shirt, tells us what color it is. We have true color lighting, so it helps us get the true color to match your color.
Do you have any tips for us to ensure a successful paint job?
The best tip I can give you is use the proper tools. You want to use a good paintbrush, you want to use a good roller. People always grab a roller frame, they just want to roll a wall. Grab a pole, whether it be an expensive good one, an inexpensive wooden one. It makes the job go so much easier when you're rolling that wall out.
The team at Watts Home Center can answer all your painting questions, so come on out to their location here in LaGrange. I'm Lindsay Cox for WDRB Home Design.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by Watts Home Center. Whether it's building, restoring, or improving your home, visit the experts at Watts. 2350 Commerce Parkway in LaGrange. Watts Home Center. Design that feels like home.
A 34-yard pass play from quarterback Devlin McGee to wide receiver Christian Danielson inside of 10 seconds remaining put South Oldham in a position to win this football game, and young Sam Reagan, a junior wide receiver, defensive back, place kicker, punter, you name it. He sells popcorn during the game sometimes, I think. He put one through the uprights from 19 yards away, and South Oldham wins their first game of 2021, 24-21 over Silver Creek from Indiana. Coach, Jim Tyree here, Joe Gamsky with me. Exciting football game. 14-0 lead by Silver Creek in the second quarter, and South Oldham never wavered, kept doing what they do best, worked their game plan, stayed in this game, and things went their way in the second half.
Yeah, that's a trademark of a Coach Reed team, man. You know, I coached under him for 5 years. I always felt like he was in control. You know, coaching against him for 5 years, he was always in control of the game and always in control of his team. So you got that. You never see him get too high. You never see him get too low. They're always preaching, hey, we have a chance. We're in this football game. But great play, great catch there at the end of the game. Good kick to win it. But I'm giving the win to the defense there. Silver Creek pretty much had their way in the first half running the football. And that defense went in, made some adjustments, maybe got pumped up, shored up some things. Hey, we just got to tackle a little bit better. But that defense really showed up in the second half and kind of made some statements. They didn't let Silver Creek do what they want to do. I think made them uncomfortable at times, made them put the ball in the air, got them in that wildcat a few times. But I will say that Silver Creek football team, that's a tough loss. They're gonna win a lot of football games this year, and they're gonna grow from this one right now. Anytime you play great competition, like South Oldham, traveling all the way over here, there's a lot to look at on tape that you're gonna grow from and learn from and be able to use the rest of the season to help your team out.
Defense was the name of the game in the second half. There were 3 turnovers on downs in the second half, 2 by Silver Creek, 1 by South Oldham. But what it boils down to tonight is a 19-yard field goal by Sam Reagan that wins the game as time expires. There were 2 touchdown runs, and we'll go over some stats here in a moment by Trey Shane, their fabulous running back. I really, honestly, after watching the kid here tonight, I think that Trey Shane has the ability to probably play FBS football at some point.
Yeah, he's got next level ability, and what those coaches look for too is where's your ceiling at. How much room do you have to grow? How much muscle do you have to put on your frame? How much more do you have in the tank as far as athleticism goes? So, that's really what those guys are looking for on the FBS level. I've seen a lot of really good high school players come out that look the part, but don't get a shot at that level because maybe those coaches think they peaked. But I think he's got a lot of potential. Still, some work to be done in the weight room, and I think that's what those coaches are going to look for. You get him in a college strength program and see what he can do. He reminds me a little bit of a kid that South had a while ago, Ethan Bernardzik, who's at Eastern Kentucky, kind of a small, shifty kid, catches the ball well, runs well with the ball in his hand, and he's actually in a position to start for EKU this year.
Devlin McGee In week one, 4 of 16 for 25 yards. Tonight, well over 150 yards passing the football. Christian Danielson, a career night. 7 catches up near the century mark, but none bigger than that one there at the end. I really did not come in here tonight and expect that the passing game was going to be that key for Jamie Reed and his South Oldham team.
Yeah, and them being their offense the way it has been for so long with that flex bone triple option type look, this is totally different for me seeing this team. But you can tell the practice at work, because McGee was much more efficient this week. I still think it took him another half of football to really feel confident, letting the ball rip out of his hands. But coach got him settled down, let him know where his keys was. He stuck hitch route after hitch route. Some things to work on there. Ball sailed high a little bit on some deep curl routes. He's got to hit his mark on the deep ball a little bit. But watching that Cal game last week, really impressed with how he bounced back tonight.
All right, Coach, give us your scoring update there. If you've still got that handy, you let us know what the other Oldham County schools are doing tonight.
So Oldham County is playing Shelby County. Oldham County's rolling 49-13 into the third. North Oldham out at Great Crossing. North Oldham 7, Great Crossing 15, and that game's at the end of the third. Like I said, those games started a little bit later. I think it was about 8 o'clock kickoff time for both of those games. So we'll probably be logged off here before those games are finished.
We'll take one more break and come back and run down some of these stats, and then we'll call it a night. But a big one for South Oldham as they win 24-21. Back in a moment on Glycod.com. Robert Lane is not a seasoned politician. He grew up in Oldham County and has been in the trenches alongside first responders for over 20 years. As sheriff, he will provide fresh, community-oriented policing perspectives while maintaining a duty to serve citizens fairly and impartially. Vote for a candidate with a servant's heart. Vote Robert Lane for Oldham County Sheriff, committed to community.
I'm Robert Lane, and I approve this message.
Paid for and approved by Robert Lane for Oldham County Sheriff.
Looking for new ways to connect with your customer? Did you know that local grassroots marketing is the most effective? For a successful economic approach, email info@glycod.com or call 502-551-5027. Looking for sound, prudent financial advice? Did you know that one of the brightest and best financial advisors is in your own backyard? Robin Lawson of Financial Solutions Incorporated has a mission to understand your long-term goals and to create a specific strategy just for you. Robin understands the challenges that face most of us today and offers fresh, out-of-the-box thinking that can put you on the road to financial freedom. Contact Robin Lawson today at 502-225-9900. That's 502-225-9900 or visit lawsonfinancial.net.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Brian Morrison in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Summer is here. That puts a lot of strain on your air conditioner. Are you ready? Call Thompson Heating and Cooling today for an HVAC checkup. Because the last time you want to find out your air conditioner isn't working is when you really need it. At Thompson, we offer a 2-hour appointment window, so you won't be kept waiting all day. We're fully stocked and prepared, and 90% of our calls are repaired that day. And as always, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call us today for express service.
You're tuned in to Oldham High School's football on Glycod.
Welcome back to Irvin Stadium here in Crestwood. South Oldham wins 24-21. A couple of quick stats. It was Trey Shane for Silver Creek with 2 touchdown runs, a 22-yarder, and also a an 11-yard touchdown run, so 2 touchdowns for him tonight on the ground, gives him 5 for the season, 5 rushing touchdowns in 2 games. LaShun Mays also able to get in from 1 yard away, all 3 touchdowns for Silver Creek on the ground. For South Oldham, they had a 1-yard run from the running back Jack McCubbin in the second quarter, and then a 1-yard run by McCubbin in the fourth quarter, so 2 for him. That is his first 2 of the season on the ground. Also, McGee, the quarterback, Devlin McGee, able to throw a 17-yard passing touchdown to Connor Hayden back in the third quarter. A 2-point conversion by McCubbin after that one. So a passing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns tonight for the South Oldham Dragons. And then, of course, the all-important 19-yard field goal that wins the game for South Oldham. Coach, final thoughts after this one?
I think those are 2 really good football teams. I think South proved a lot to themselves tonight, moving to the new offense, and then even defensively to be able to get some stops and play tough there. So I think South Oldham's coaches are going to be a little bit more confident moving into next week than maybe they were coming out of the Cal game. And same thing for Silver Creek. It hurts, and it should hurt anytime you lose a game like that. But they got to feel good about themselves too, and what they got over there, and how they can run their offense and kind of do what they need to do at times. Maybe they got to figure out a little bit, a way to, move the ball in chunks, if you will. But they know who they are, they have their identity, and I imagine they're going to stick with that.
They've got to play Ballard at Ballard next weekend. That's where South Oldham goes, but they'll go with a 1-1 record. So will Silver Creek. 1-1 now as they will travel to Floyd Central coming up next weekend. That is a look at the remaining schedules. And next Friday, right here on Glycod.com, you can catch Holy Cross going to North Oldham. That game's going to be a good one. That'll be on video with Chris Lamar and Joey Hamilton. Jeffersonville will take on the BNL Stars with Dr. Todd Carter, Jim Kaczmarek on the call that one at 7 o'clock. I'll be with Bob Redmond at St. X High School as Mail takes on St. X. That should be a good one. That'll be on radio only at WFIA 94.7. And then at 7:30, another audio game on Glycod.com. John Ashton and Antoine Wardlow will bring you the call of Bowling Green. The Purples coming to town to take on the PRP Panthers. That'll do it for our color commentator. Good job tonight, Coach. Good to be with you.
Thank you, sir.
I thought it was great stuff. Great football games. Matter of fact, that guy's name is the crew that we have here tonight. Matt McCarthy. Matt, I'm sorry, your camera guy. I didn't get his name, but Josh, good job tonight, Josh. Appreciate it very much. Joe Gamsky, color commentator. I'm Jim Tyree. We'll give you the final score once again here from Crestwood tonight. The final score was South Oldham 24, Silver Creek 21. Thanks for watching.
From Glycod, this has been Oldham High School's football. Tonight's game was brought to you by Anderson Sales and Service, outdoor equipment specialists who make your life easier. Thompson Heating and Cooling, where your comfort comes first. Roy's Body and Glass Shop, locally owned and operated with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. LaGrange Service Center, quality car care since 1964. Watts Home Center in LaGrange, design that feels like home. Metro Windows, State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilley. Robert Lane for Oldham County Sheriff. And by Lawson Financial.
For schedule information about our upcoming broadcasts, visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning into this